Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show, where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome. Boy, it's been a rough week, and I'm going to jump right into it. This FBI press conference, I want to cover this, and I'm going to share it with you. It's not that long, and there's a lot of good information. But I got to tell you, Kash Patel looked like he was the intern or the guy that just got hired like today and it was his first day on the job. Kash Patel, and again, you guys can let me know what you think. You can call me here on the program. Kash Patel looked lost, didn't he? I'm pretty surprised. He's got a lot of media experience, and I was expecting Kash Patel to come out and lead that press conference. And he's off on the side. It was a very strange thing. I'm going to pull it up and play it. And, I just was very surprised to see that. I mean, he flew all the way out to Utah. They said he walked the crime scene, which is great. He's there. But do you agree with me that he looked clueless? Like he wasn't really in charge. He didn't know what was going on, and he was looking to others to take charge in that press conference. I have seen many a major news story with FBI directors and people of that level in big news events like this. And no matter who they are, good or bad, like Comey, right? In these press conferences, the director of the FBI is a big deal. They go out there and they take charge. I understand they have the governor there of Utah, but the director of the FBI is also there as to not only take the lead in the investigation for by the federal government and the FBI, but to also be the representative of the President of the United States as well as the Attorney General. And he looked awful. It was an incredible disappointment. I want to say this about the manhunt before we get into all of this. Many years ago, here in South Florida, we had a manhunt like this. Similar, when Johnny Versace was assassinated. Johnny Versace was killed by this lunatic, Andrew Cunanan, in South Beach, Miami Beach. And as he had breakfast, and then he went to his mansion. And as he was walking up the steps of his mansion on the beach, Andrew Cunanan killed Johnny Versace. And there was a very big manhunt that went on for a couple of days. And they finally found him. He had broken into someone's houseboat or cabin cruiser. It's been a long time, so I don't remember all the details. And he was gone. And there was, but when that manhunt went on for Andrew Cunanan, because I remember I was on the air, I was here. In fact, I worked at a radio station in Miami, just down the street from where all this happened at the time. And the press, local and national media, not only were here, they were walking the path and talking to people on the street. People were knocking on doors in neighborhoods and such. 97, it's a long time. I've been around a while. Looking for Andrew Cunanan. Was it 97? Wow. It's a hard time flying. But it was a manhunt similar to this in that we had the feds, because he was a serial killer, we had the feds, we had local law enforcement, we had local media and national media, and they were basically doing house-to-house, door-to-door searches. And it was going on all over the place in the whole area. I haven't seen anything going on out here in Utah. I want to say this, like that Cunanan thing, and then I'm going to get into this Kash Patel press conference, which I was shocked at how clueless Kash Patel. He would have been better off not going. The identity of the Charlie Kirk assassin has not been revealed yet. And I must say, I am in shock. I thought within an hour, 2 at the most, after those pictures spread because of the internet and social media, that they would have been identified within an hour, maybe 2, even less. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were ID'd within 15 minutes. And here we are almost 24 hours later, and as of this moment, they haven't ID'd the suspect. What that means, I don't know, but I'll tell you this. If he is a local, okay, and he is in Utah, if he is Mormon, every Mormon in America has gotten DNA tested. They just have, because genealogy is a huge thing with Mormons. And if he is a local and is a Mormon, his ID is, or his DNA is in the database. But I find it so strange that we don't have an ID on him yet, so long after the images were out there. So I don't know, what that means. Maybe it means everything. Maybe it means nothing. I know, a lot of people say professional hit. There was a guy on Fox getting a lot of press that says, professionals wouldn't wear Converse. But it looks like he has a broken leg. He jumped off the roof, and we have that footage from someone's driveway in the neighborhood behind the school where he was limping. And when that video first was dropped by TMZ, people were online were saying, "Oh, he must have the rifle in his pants." And now, to me, it looks like he's got a broken leg, and just like John Wilkes Booth. And let me tell you, a broken leg is one of the most painful things you can have. Any of you had broken bones? Oh man, broken bones hurt like no one's business. And a broken leg, I could not imagine what that feels like. I've had some broken bones, but only small bones, and it was some of the worst pains I've ever experienced. A broken leg is brutal. And with going back to the Andrew Cunanan manhunt, Andrew Cunanan was the killer of Johnny Versace when they had this big manhunt here in South Florida. There were sightings of him all over the place, other parts of the country, other parts of the state of Florida. And he was not that far away. Again, we're talking about 1997, so it's been a long time, but he was literally just a couple of miles away from where he committed his crime, where he shot Johnny Versace. And what happens a lot of times with these guys is they do put planning into the event, but not so much about their getaway. And if his leg is indeed broken, he's in a tremendous amount of pain, and he's not mobile. And we don't know where he is or where he went, but it looked like it was his right leg to me, which if he were driving a vehicle, can you drive a car with a right leg that's broken like that? That would be very, I remember with the broken bones I've had, I've never broken a leg. I've broken smaller bones. The pain was bad, but the real pain came on later. And I am in shock that we're not getting a door-to-door search in that area. There should be a door-to-door search. And when I say that area, I'm talking about that neighborhood where those houses are and the surrounding area. With the injury that he has, which again, we don't know for sure, but does that not look like a broken leg to you? There's a good chance he's holed up in a house nearby or an apartment that he's maybe even broken into if he doesn't live there. I'll tell you another thing too. He seemed pretty familiar when he was walking down that street with his leg that looks broken. He didn't seem nervous, like he was at home, right? Again, we're going to find out everything soon. But sprained ankle, broken leg, we don't know. But he's got an injury. He very well could be holed up somewhere very, very nearby. So I want to get into this press conference because I can't play this on the radio because it's so visual. I will talk about it, though, but I want to play it for you guys. If you're on hold, hang in there. And if you want to call in, The number to call in is toll-free. It's pinned in the chat, 888-465-2631. Now, that looks like a broken leg to me. I want to get, now, if you're just joining, welcome. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe, guys, okay? Okay, now, this press conference, which I'm going to play for you, it does have information, so we want to get that out so we can see and talk about it. But my takeaway from this, I was in shock at Kash Patel. He does not look like a director of the FBI. He does not look like he's in charge. He looks like a guy that got hired yesterday, and this is his first day on the job. He looks like the rookie. And quite frankly, he looks like an idiot to me. But let me play it. You decide. Here's the FBI press conference.
Sure, but I'm sure that they will introduce themselves. We've been waiting for this for a long time. A lot of breaking developments tonight in terms of a recovered weapon.
Look at
him. We
him.
have this new TMZ video.
He looks lost.
That we've been airing for
Doesn't
you.
he?
We know that they have palm prints. We know that they have fingerprints. We know that they have footprints. Let's look at this video.
Okay, let me go back. Okay.
I'm so shocked.
Hold on. Let me go back to when she does these introductions.
We know that they have fingerprints. We know that they have footprints. Let's listen in.
This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off.
Okay. And by the way, Kash is not even going to speak. She said we have Dan Bongino. Did I miss it? Now, keep a close look. If you're watching on the live stream with the green behind me, if you jump over to my other stream here on YouTube, you can see the video and hear all the audio I play. Okay? If you're on the stream with the green behind me, you kind of got it. You can see and hear me. You'll be able to hear the callers. But if you want to see the video and hear the audio that I play, jump over to my other stream here on YouTube. She said Bongino's there. I did not see Bongino come in. Let's take a look and see if you guys see Dan Bongino.
Thank you.
That's the
Ladies
governor.
and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can.
Now, this is the governor, and who I know nothing about him. I saw him at the first press conference, and I like how he's been handling this. I don't know about his politics beyond he seems to be all right now, but I understand the governor starting the press conference because it's his state, and he's the governor. But Kash Patel's standing down here on the side looking like a scared kid on his first day of school. That's a problem to me.
Catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible, so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
See, Kash is just hanging out. This guy's in charge.
Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that.
So he didn't plan his getaway as well as
here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA.
Boom.
There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that.
And that's a long drop.
It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right.
See, if his leg is broken, he's in a tremendous amount of pain that over-the-counter medications are not going to help. Tylenol and Motrin not going to help with that. That's the kind of thing you need hardcore prescription meds for if his leg is broken. And it makes you, even if you are treated for a broken leg properly, it's not easy to be mobile. And if you've got an untreated broken leg, we got a John Wilkes Booth here who had a similar thing. If his leg is indeed broken, the high likelihood he's within a couple of miles of this neighborhood. There's a very high likelihood of that.
After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please
now,
pay
a lot
close
of people that I'd never heard this before, but I've seen a lot of people commenting. Some of them are experts when they saw the photographs. And a couple things about the photographs. The hat and sunglasses interfere with facial recognition. But that's not, everybody knows that. That's why when you go into the bank, if you've got sunglasses on with a ball cap, they'll have you take them off, right? You ever have that happen? But he's walking with his hands clasped a little bit. And I've heard a lot of people say that that's tradecraft for professional people like this, if he's a professional, because it keeps you from getting your fingerprints on things.
attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features.
See, this is one of the things that is just, to me, bizarre. That here we are, almost a day later, since these photographs were released. Who would not know this guy and recognize him immediately? That's number one. And not a lot of people wear those old-style Converse anymore. I got a pair from years ago. I haven't worn them in a long time. I don't think they're that comfortable, but people don't wear those Converse very much. So that's an unusual thing with the jeans. Anytime you see someone with the Converse, that stands out. If he's a local guy, people would recognize him just based on the clothes, but they would recognize him and not one person coming forward from this community recognizing him and having him ID'd already is pretty shocking.
Features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again the T-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well.
Okay, now right here, I mean I noticed this. If you look at his belly button area of his shirt, yeah, those of you that are watching with the green behind me, if you jump over to my other stream on the channel, you get to see the video and hear all the audio and everything. If you have the green behind you, that's kind of more of a behind the scenes. You see and hear me, you'll hear the callers, but if you want to see the video and hear the audio, jump over to my other stream here on the channel and you'll get to see all of it. If you look here in this video, his belly button, there's something sticking out. That doesn't look like an Audi to me, an Audi belly button. Does it to you? I don't know. Does he have something under there? You see that? Or is that his belly button? Is that an Audi? But if you knew this person, just based on this image right here, you would immediately know who that was. All right, let's go back, play the rest.
And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the T-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next
and the hat
leads
too with the triangle, very
to
unique.
Continue to further this investigation.
The shirt
We've
too,
had
all
great
unique.
cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
See,
Thank
still
you so
no
much,
cash.
Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well.
So the governor's back. Now, I understand. It's his state. He's the governor to take the lead. And this investigator, he's the lead investigator, so walking us through. But shouldn't we be hearing from Kash Patel at this point, in your mind? Don't you find it weird? Am I being too hard on Kash? I mean, he seems out of it.
All working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal...
Yeah, and that's another one. The Boston... They weren't far, the Boston bomber. Remember, they found the one guy in the boat and all that in someone's backyard? This guy could very well be in someone's shed, right? Or an RV. A lot of RVers out west in Utah. He could be in someone's RV. He could be in someone's shed. And I'm just a little surprised they're not doing a house by house in that area.
State and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, Kash Patel, who's friends with Charlie Kirk, shouldn't Kash Patel be the one talking about the FBI? Why is he sitting over there like the intern?
We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public should be submitted to.
This should all be Kash Patel stuff.
Our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab in on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on.
All right, now he goes on. So no cash. So all right, I'll take some calls. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It's toll free, no matter where you're watching. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, sir. My name is Ivan from the Bronx.
Hey, Ivan.
I'm sick to my stomach that I didn't find this guy. I wanted to convey that the conservative party needs to protect themselves. Those days of doing outside venues is gone. They need to do inside venues. Yeah. That way, the risks are very, very low. It's a controlled environment, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem paying to hear a great guy like Charlie Kirk, to hear him speak, because what he has to say has a lot of value to my thought process. So paying for his security, that'll have somebody on the door checking bags, checking for weapons, devices, checking for, real serious threats. I don't have a problem with that. And we just need to get rid of this thought process.
Well, there's not the days of the days of the outdoor events like this are over. They're over.
Yes, if they went up there and did that to our president, they'll do it to anybody. Mm-hmm. And it's so heartbreaking that this guy lost his life, man.
Yep, I know it's insane. I still can't believe it. I mean, I am in shock. I'm in shock still.
I haven't had a good night's sleep since it happened. No, I've been up.
Yeah, I've been up for the last couple of nights. I can't sleep. And when I get up, the little bit I sleep, I wake up. The first thing I do is grab my phone to see if they've identified or captured the killer. Yeah, and the lead story today is that Kash Patel looks clueless at the press conference. Didn't even speak.
Yes.
I mean, what the hell? What the hell?
I don't know what's up with him, man. It might be that, because remember they know each other. It might be that he's like.
No, that's BS. You know what I think it is. What I think it is. I think Kash Patel is very. I like him. I've always liked him. But he's hyped up his resume. He's padded his resume and qualifications over the years, and I don't think he knows what he's doing. Same goes with Bongino.
He did a very good job with
with what?
Figuring out this collusion nonsense that the Democrat Party put
we're
together.
talking about, he's a great podcaster. He's great as a guest. But as FBI director, Kash Patel and Bongino should have been leading that press conference, not the locals.
Yes,
after the
I
governor.
do agree.
Neither of them, they're posers. They're both posers, and that's proof. Hey, welcome to the program, and thanks for your call.
Thank you. You have a great day. Be safe.
You too. Yes, absolutely. And those of you that are new, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Adam from New York, Brian.
Mm-hmm. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to give my condolences to the Kirk family. Hey, Brian, take a look at Charlie Kirk's last debate. I saw a video online last night, and there was an individual that looks like.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get. I don't want anybody giving that person's name out until it's been confirmed. No one should be giving out names until law enforcement.
Okay.
Believe me, they're aware of what we're talking about and of what you're referencing, and if I'm sure they're after that person.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. But we can't be throwing out names because someone might look like someone. I know. I've seen the video.
Right, I know. Okay, thank you. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
You have a good morning.
You too. You too. Yeah. So we'll be here, all morning, taking your calls and covering all of this. We we've seen Bongino and Kash Patel in action more than once, and this is just another example of really, I'm embarrassed for Kash Patel, really. I mean, it's pretty aggravated, too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Kevin from Santa Clarita, California. I just had a quick question I want to run by you. Yeah, one of my quick questions is, like, you see a lot of far left, far right, and, just, terrible things going on both sides and people accusing each other. What do you think needs to happen to better reunite the country? Kind of like to the World War II days, to reunite the
I don't know what you say things are going on both sides. I don't see that. I think it's one side. Left, we have Charlie Kirk was just assassinated. We have also here in Florida, the Trump attempted assassin from the golf course is on trial in Florida right now. They tried to assassinate President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. I don't see this two-sided thing that you liberals keep saying. It's the left that are killing people. It's the left. Excuse me. I'm not done. I know. It's the left that are killing people. It's the left that are killing people. It's the left that are shooting people. It's the left that are doing the violence, not MAGA.
Totally agreed, sir.
All right. Okay. Well, good. Didn't sound like that in the beginning, did it? And the media that are throwing this thing out, it's disgusting what they're doing. Okay, it's disgusting because it is not a two-sided thing. What's going on with the left in this country is incredibly violent, and they are out of control. Now, if you'd like to support my channel, there's many ways to do that. Subscribing and liking the video and sharing on your socials is a great way. But another great way to support my channel is to go to mypillow.com and use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, for huge savings site-wide. You can use my promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout on all the specials at mypillow.com. And there's also an incredible free shipping offer going on. Right now, the Percale sheets are $90 off, just $29.98, any size, any color. The premium MyPillow, less than $25. Huge savings. They're usually $69.98. So it's a $45 discount. The MyPillow 6-piece towel sets are back in. They are $30 off, just $39.98 with my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, at mypillow.com. And remember, the free shipping offer is in effect. So go to mypillow.com and load up. And every time you use my promo code KANE, you're supporting all of my content. And that's greatly appreciated. Do not let these people on the left and in the media try to convince you that this is a two-way street. It is a one-way street. Okay, they could, what they're doing in the media is right out of Goebbels' playbook. And if you don't know who Goebbels was, you're probably a Democrat. Repeat a lie often enough, and people will believe it. Yeah, well, that's not going to fly with me. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me put all these people on hold. If you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Eric, and I'm calling from North Carolina.
All right, Eric. What's on your mind?
I ain't never seen your show before.
Welcome.
I just happened to scroll past, and I seen it. I don't know. I felt like I should call in. I just wanted to say that everyone should be praying for the Kirk family and for this nation and its divided nature. I pray that the Lord has mercy upon us and that he would take us out from under judgment, because I believe that the reason why we are the way we are now is that we've been given over, a la Romans 1.
Well, listen, the nation's not divided. I know it seems that way. This is a majority MAGA nation. The president, less than a year ago, won the national election. He won the popular vote. He won all of the swing states. The Democrat Party is fading away into non-existence. And they're doing outrageous things like killing children, praying in churches in Minneapolis, and assassinating civil rights leaders like Charlie Kirk. But the country is not divided. They're a small cell, the left, a small violent cell.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so. I don't know. It's hard not to be a little bit shaken up.
Of course, yeah.
Losing a brother in Christ like that.
I haven't slept in a couple of days now. I mean, it's awful. Hey, appreciate the call. Yeah, I know it's very upsetting. I mean, I feel like my brother here was lost. Don't you? Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Brian. This is Mike from Massapequa.
Hey, Mike.
What do you think of the consideration that this might be a woman?
I don't know. Doesn't look like a woman to me. Do you see any boobs?
Well, to me, the shoulders.
Do you see any breasts?
Look wider than the hips.
It's a breastless woman.
But
A
the
boobless.
pelvis,
it would be a boobless woman.
Right. Yes. Well, transgender surgery. The pelvis looks like they don't have junk. You know
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying?
I wasn't looking there.
I only seen that shot you put on the screen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any other photos. To me, that looks almost like a woman. The facial features are very, fine.
Mm-hmm.
The shoulders are wide. That's the part that kind of throws off that it's I think they should consider that this is a woman.
Yeah. Well, here we are, almost 24 hours since they released the photos, and for the person not to be identified at this point is very unusual. By the way, Massapequa, that's where Jerry Seinfeld's from. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, how you doing?
All right.
Stop with that. Let me Good morning, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? Better than yesterday, I must say. Oh, she disconnected herself by mistake. She'll call back. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Jennifer. I'm calling from Butler, Pennsylvania.
Oh, hey, Jennifer. Hold on. Let me answer all these lines that are coming in. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Jennifer from Butler, Pennsylvania. Yes, where the reign of terror from the left began.
Absolutely. We've spoken once before.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with Scott Presler. I don't know if you remember me calling before.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you what your opinion was if you caught this New York Times article about Hunter Kozak, the last guy to ask a question to Charlie before he was attacked.
Well, when that first happened, is this the? I'm just answering all the lines. Is this the guy that asked the question about trans violence?
Yes.
When this first happened, the first thing my wife said to me was that a signal to the shooter? They need to investigate that guy. Yeah, I agree with that. That
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the very same thing when I saw that. I thought, this is a cue. This is a verbal cue from the audience for the shooter, maybe. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's highly likely. That was the first thought my wife had. First thing she said when she saw the video. First thing.
Yeah.
Without anything other than this video is disgusting, and I wish I wouldn't have seen it. Right after we got through that was the first thing my wife said.
If you have time to read that New York Times article, it is unapologetically leftist. It's just disgusting if you take a time to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
The very last paragraph actually says that they're working hard at the New York Times to dispel any kind of rumors about shooters across America being transgender. I'm like, seriously?
Oh, they're back on that again. They become the defenders of the trans people. Yeah. That means that the New York Times thinks that the shooter might be trans. We don't know yet. We really don't know yet. I know I'm not jumping to any conclusions on that kind of stuff until we know, because we don't know. But the New York Times is afraid they might be.
Well,
because of the, there's good reason to think that, because of the, Steven Crowder broke that story that he had an ATF source that told him there was some transgender things etched on the gun or ammo or something, right? So there's good reason to believe that.
Exactly. And if you look into Hunter Kozak, you can find out how he was a former member of the Church of Latter-day Saints and left, and then became a radical Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ activist.
Mm-hmm.
So he was way, way left.
Yeah.
The last guy to ask questions, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me be on. I just want to say that, you know, speech isn't very free when a man has to pay for it with his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. All right, take care. Good points. Okay, now if you're new to the program, welcome. I host a live morning radio show, which is going to go live in just a couple of minutes. And when I'm on the air, I live stream here on YouTube. And this is the pre-radio show. I started about 40 minutes ago taking calls. But I'll take another call, and then we'll have to wait until after we get switched over. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm from Long Beach, California.
Okay.
And I like to say that everybody that disrespecting Charlie Kirk,
yeah,
and they're celebrating his death.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. I mean, they're just really sick people.
You know, those are very rotten people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I know. All right, take care. You know, it's not the first time liberals have acted this way, but I think it's the first time liberals, you know, he's talking about these people saying these terrible things online. It's the first time it's happened at this level with the modern social media age, right? With TikTok and everything. And as disgusting as it is, it truly shows how bad the left are, right? Doesn't it? It really shows what they're all about. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. We're going to keep on trucking here. The number is toll free 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is David, and I'm in California.
All right, David, hold on. Let me answer these other lines, and I'll get right back to you. The phones are ringing. All right, David, in California, what's on your mind?
Well, Brian, the Charlie Kirk thing, of course. I'm in the anger stage. I'm beyond the sad stage, fortunately. And I'm a little bit frustrated at seeing that people so far haven't really, I've seen, at least in the press, focused on what I consider one of the root causes of the whole situation. And I think you're an expert in this, and I want to hear what you have to say about it, because you, more than anybody, seems to be keeping us aware of the CCP. And as we know, the CCP has put a lot of money into our universities and the curriculum, you're right? And so that's why, you know, Charlie had to deprogram a lot of these people. And I want to see us go to war with this whole CCP and money in the universities and programming our kids and the whole thing. And I think this is the perfect catalyst, and I'd love to see.
Well, listen, I was talking about this yesterday. One of the reasons they assassinated Charlie Kirk is because he has flipped the entire youth of this country into MAGA conservatives. And that's an absolute miracle that's happened. And so the work at the universities he was doing very, very successfely. It's not the way MAGA hats are common on university campuses now because of Charlie, you know, and that's one of the major reasons they killed him.
I believe that completely, and I'm completely angry at it. And I wish that this was more mainstream, and we were, you know, I wish Trump was on his radar. And,
what was on his radar? Believe me, everything's on Trump's radar.
That's true. We know that. You're right.
But, you know.
I just wish that somehow, I know, we could start just being more verbal about it, and just, you know, and just maybe, I mean, that's a lot of money, right? What are they putting in, millions or is it billions of dollars into these universities?
right?
The Chinese, let me tell you, I know the smartest people I've known in my entire life are Chinese people. That is not an exaggeration. From the time I was a little kid, the smartest people I've ever known are Chinese people. They're and the CCP are very smart in how they're waging this Cold War, if it's really a Cold War, against the United States. They got our universities. They bought off many of our politicians. They're behind the cartels, the drug cartels. They're manufacturing the drugs for the cartels, into this country. TikTok is a big propaganda tool used by the CCP worldwide and against the United States. Their attacks on us have been, I mean, we got to say, brilliant. It's what they've done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You more than anyone have busted them out, and it's always refreshing. And if you could just, I'd say throw that message out there like we are right now, just so it's on people's radar. This has been going on for years. I know that for a fact. I remember tutoring some Chinese student, or Taiwanese, I should say, about 10 years ago at least. And even then, there was all this gender studies BS going on.
Yep.
So it's been going on a good while, and I have a feeling they're just loving all this, and they're just not getting enough attention. I mean, I think most Americans, if they were aware of what's really going on, this would be the perfect catalyst to just be extremely angry.
All right. Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna move on, but thanks for the call. All right, take care. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Friday is typically open phones on the program, open MAGA Mike Friday, but I really want to keep it on Charlie Kirk and everything that's going with Charlie Kirk. I want to recap where I began before I go back to the calls. What I started this program about today, I was talking about the press conference with the FBI last night in Utah, and Kash Patel looked checked out, man. I mean, he looked like, let me pull this up. I mean, he didn't even speak. He's off to the side. They had said that Dan Bongino was there, but I didn't see Dan Bongino. And he's not in. He looks scared. I mean, look at his face. He looks like either an intern or the FBI guy that just got hired yesterday, and he's gotten put on this high-profile case on his first day. I mean, he didn't even speak at the press conference. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Sorry about that.
Look at him. He's looking around. He's nervous. Not taking charge. I've never seen an FBI director act like this at any press conference.
Hi, everybody.
Now, the governor started the press conference. I get that. It's his state. But they bring up the state law enforcement head to go over the video, and Kash Patel did not even speak. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, we've been nothing but disappointed by him. Okay, and this was that was a sign of weakness. It really was. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing, Brian? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Oh,
better than yesterday,
boy.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. I was listening to. I was trying to get on your show, but it was like so hard. And I'm still dealing with it. I've been crying for 2 days, and I'm just lost of word to look and to see what's going on in this world. It's not even the world. It's just the liberals, and I'm gonna say it just like that. The Democrats. Mm-hmm. It's so divisive. It's so disgusting that you would take a good human being and destroy his life. Take him from us, and the voice that was a strong voice that was speaking the truth, trying to talk to the young people to get them to understand. Yeah. And you take his life away, and then you hear, I'm so disgusted.
Yeah,
I'm so disgusted.
We all are. Yeah, and, I know. Well, because the liberals. they believe that words are weapons, and if you say things that they don't like, they think you should die. And we know this to be a fact because so many of them are on TikTok celebrating this horrific assassination.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm tired of it. I cried for 2 days, and it hurts me to see the mother, the widow, the wife, and the 2 children to suffer, the family to suffer this way. That's a horrible crime. And you just assassinate him in front of the whole entire world. Like, it's so unreal, and it hurts me to my heart. It's not just because he's Charlie Kirk. He's a man of God. He's a man that speaks the truth, tells the truth, whether you like it or not, and you take his life away just because you feel some type of way. I'm just lost for words. For the last couple of days, I have not even been able to turn away from anything to just think about if that could have been my family, that could have been my husband. You understand me? It's so hard to sit here and look at these people all across the world and look at the news and say, hey, it was the right thing to do. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not right.
No, you're
and
right.
I just pray that.
Well, you know what? Charlie Kirk is a member of our family, the MAGA family. That's why all of us are taking, the connection we have. And I've seen a lot of young people saying that he is the man of their generation, the leader of their generation. And Charlie Kirk, taken very young before he even really started his career in so many ways, he is to this country and to his generation, and even the generation after his, the younger, he is to them what President Kennedy was to that generation. He's like the modern day JFK people, And I, yesterday was a hard. I was breaking down yesterday, I've never broken down like that for someone that I was not related to when they passed. Now I did cry when President Trump was shot. But he got right back up. Right. He got right back up. Fight. So we knew he was okay, right? So there was but this is, I'm definitely in one of the stages of grief. And
me too.
Yeah.
Me too, because I honestly, I went on my Facebook page and I tweeted and I put a message out there. You think this is funny? You think this is cool? You think this is what we want?
Yeah.
You take out a good, decent man, all because you didn't like what he stands for. Basically, you're targeting us. You're targeting us MAGA people. For what?
Yep.
For what?
Yep. All right.
I had enough.
Well, I hear you. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, please do. The number is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. Now, again, Fridays is usually, we call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. It's open phones, but today I want to keep it to Charlie Kirk, guys, okay? And I want to tell you this. If you are 65 years of age or older and a Medicare recipient, open enrollment's around the corner, or if you're turning 65 soon, call Chapter. The number for Chapter is in the description of the video. They joined us a couple of months ago, and they're a great company. They cover the entire United States, so no matter where you are in the United States, Chapter can help you with your Medicare. When you call this number, you're going to get a live agent right there on the phone, and in just a few minutes, they will answer all of your Medicare questions. The average Chapter client saves over $1,100 a year on their Medicare. And millions of seniors aren't even getting their full Medicare benefits. So give them a call. It costs you nothing. It is always free. There are no catches or gimmicks, and they cover all 50 states. So no matter where you are in the United States, call Chapter. The number is on the screen there. It's also in the description of the video. 805-754-3033. 805-754-3033. 3033. That's 805-754-3033. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Braden. I'm from PA.
All right.
I was calling. I really wanted to hear your opinion on. There's been a thing circulating recently about someone by the name of Sky Van
No, we're
Della.
not giving out the names, okay? I don't want anybody to give out the names until they're identified by the media as and the law enforcement as official people, okay? I know what you're talking about. I'm not going to mention that name on the program. That's not right until they are named, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi there, Mr. Craig. This is Dakota, and I'm from Middle Georgia.
All right. What's up? Dakota in Georgia. Okay.
Yeah. I know a lot of people are going through some really rough times. You know, it's very clear and obvious. We're all going through it. But I just wanted to kind of give a few words of encouragement, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right. So Charlie Kirk, what I've been thinking about him the past few days is, in my mind, he kind of is. He's coming off as the MLK of our time, and there's multiple comparisons I can get into him. But the thing is that he had this huge following of people who, you know, some people, you know, they were just there just for the smiles and the support. But after all of this, I personally don't feel like they're just going to just sit by anymore. They're going to vote now. You know, like this action is going to stir up something. Like every single major assassination in American history has only caused that person and their message to reach even more people and cause even more change in our country. And so I just want to go ahead and, you know, it's incredibly unfortunate what happened. And I also, everyone who watched this guy, who followed this guy, has spread his message, has learned to better themselves and want to do better for the country. And I feel like they're actually going to do that now.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people, Democrats online, who have said they've finally woken up. They're going to be re-registering as Republicans and voting Republican in the future. They shot Trump in Butler. They try to do it again at the golf course, and now this. And you can see the left are basically domestic terrorists at this point, right?
I wouldn't say all of them, but you know, there's with a lot of the videos of people celebrating it, there's a lot of people certainly noticing that, hey, I don't want to be on this side of history. Yep. The people who are maniacally cackling about someone's death just because they had a different opinion.
Yeah, that's true. All right, thanks for your call. If you're on hold, hang in there. The number is pinned in the live chat if you'd like to call in, 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig, and of course I'm here every day. And this is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe if you're new. And if you guys could like the video, that helps a lot. And if you're feeling very generous, take the link and share it on your socials, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Buffy from South Carolina.
Buffy in South Carolina. Yes, what's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I just first want to say thank you and God bless you for what you do, for using your platform. Like, you know, just like Charlie Kirk and different ones, I just pray that God keeps you all safe for what you're doing. I also want to put my heart out there about this whole thing of them making fun, you know, and just getting so much joy out of this. I think Trump should get rid of them. I think they should be able to ban them off of all social media. As far as I'm concerned, their freedom of speech is no longer available to them because this right here is wrong in so many levels. Mm-hmm. And I just think that Mr. Trump should really consider banning every single one of them because it's all over the internet, it's all over. They can't hide now. I believe he should ban every last one of them off all social media.
Well,
no more
I don't know. I think
it's
these monsters, these animals that are doing these celebratory, disgusting things. In a way, they're doing you don't want to ban them because people are seeing what the left are all about. People are seeing what the left are all about. They're evil.
Yes,
evil.
Sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%. You know, it's just my heart speaking. I just cannot believe. I just can't believe it. We just have a bunch of demons on this earth. But I want everybody to remember one thing: the vengeance is the Lord's, and they will not go untaken care of. I do believe that in my heart. And I just pray for you all, your safety, and everyone who has a platform that are using it. I did reach out to Mr. Trump, and I asked Mr. Trump to please, if people are going to go do these things, that's wonderful, that's awesome, that's God's work.
All right.
You know,
Yeah,
that's what
I agree with you. Appreciate the call. No, I want people to see what the left are all about. Don't you? I mean, these are scary people, and I'll tell you, these lunatics that we're talking about, these are the Kamala Harris people. If Kamala Harris had won the election and not our great president, these people that are doing these celebrations you're seeing, they would have been invited influencers at White House events with Kamala Harris. Think about that, huh? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. How are you? My name is Jennifer Delia. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Hey, Jennifer in New Jersey. What's on your mind?
Well, number one, first and foremost, I've been following you for a long time. I want to just say that I think your platform is amazing.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know if it would be okay if I just promote my nonprofit organization. I actually travel the United States hunting child predators. What I do is I use my ability to change my voice.
I'll tell you what, I don't have a problem with that, but send me a DM DM with the link on social media so I can look at it first. I don't like to give.
You got it, brother. Check me out, man.
Okay, see there the voice change. See, that's why I didn't let him do it. See what I mean? I can't let people give out websites because you don't know what you're sending them, and then boom, she made a mistake and hit the wrong button, and then we heard another voice that was another gender. You know, it's not that I'm a heartless guy, but if you want something, first of all, to promote things, that's how I make a living. So you want to, go to my website, briancraigshow.com, and send me an email, and I'll look things over. But if you have like a nonprofit, send me a DM. I'll take a look. Okay. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello. My name is Luke. I'm calling from India.
India. All right. What's on your mind from India?
Yeah, actually, I'm a big supporter of Charlie Kirk.
What?
Hello?
Yes, I could not understand what you said.
No, I'm telling that I'm a big supporter of Charlie because I love his ideologies, like to make America, his policies and.
All right, I appreciate the call. I can't understand a word he's saying, and you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, Richie. Hey, what's up?
Richie. Something really changed in me last night. I mean, you talked about Kash Patel looking scared, but the guy hasn't slept, and probably he should have talked. But you know what? What I realized last night, and what these animals that are celebrating what happened here. You look at a man that sat there and faced his political enemies and wanting to have dialogue with these people, and he knew the risk. And then these animals are supporting this little punk that was up on a roof, yards away, jumping off a roof, running away like a scared little child. Mm-hmm. He won't even face the music. He doesn't even have, in other words, he doesn't even have the guts to face his own action. He's running like a little girl down the street trying to hide. I mean, get away. This is what they're supporting.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was talking about this at the beginning of the program, which if you guys don't know that I've turned the program into a 4-hour morning show, and I start around 20 after 5 in the morning now. But the video. The guy, to me, it looks like he broke his leg, and we don't know for sure if he sprained his ankle, broke his leg, and that's a terrible injury. And if you look at these past manhunts, right, there's been a couple in the last couple of decades that we've had like this. The Boston bombers, they did their thing and they were on the run. And the other one I was talking about was here in Florida. Andrew Cunanan, who killed Johnny Versace, was on the run. And in both the Johnny Versace killing and the Boston bombers, they were hiding out. The Versace killer, Andrew Cunanan, had broken into a boat in a marina, a houseboat in a marina, right up the street, just a couple of miles away, like maybe 5 miles or less from the Versace mansion. The Boston bomber, he was hiding in a boat with a tarp in someone's backyard. This guy, with his John Wilkes Booth broken leg or whatever it is, it's high. He seemed very comfortable in that neighborhood. He knew it.
May I say something?
Well, after I finish my thought, I think there's a high likelihood that he's hiding in someone's shed or RV or something like that in that neighborhood. And I don't know why they're not doing door-to-doors over there.
Okay, I saw it when that first happened. I saw the TMZ video. I said, this guy must have fallen off the roof or jumped and hurt his leg. Now they're saying that video that we saw of him walking, that video literally was him with the gun in his pants holding the stock. And that's why he was walking like that. Not that because that was taken before he got there. That was very confusing. They have a timestamp on there. That was before he was shot. The video when he jumped off the roof, he was running without any kind of limps. And this is the evidence against this guy. He was running with no problem. He was limping there, not limping off the roof.
When you break I've never broken a leg, but I've broken bones before, and it's been a long time. But my recollection is that it took a little bit of time before the pain from the injury set in, especially got a lot of adrenaline going with what he was doing.
That's right, yeah.
So, when he was limping down the street, it could have been setting in at that point. The timestamp that they had under that video, that was a door camera. The timestamp was 11:40 something in the morning, 11:42 or something like that. When he's limping,
and Charlie Kirk wasn't shot.
The doorbell camera,
limping video.
Well, for the doorbell camera time may not be accurate. Sometimes people's clocks at home and devices are not accurate.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because when I watched the press conference, that was after. That's how they tracked him, right? Off the roof, through the woods, through the neighborhood. So they said that was after.
Running.
Yeah, well, he ran, but walking down the street, they identified that in their timeline as after the shooting.
Yeah, well, this guy said, regardless whether he's a coward to run away. You want to do something like that, face the music. You're a coward. You're running away like a little
Aren't
baby.
they always cowards?
Come on.
When are they not cowards?
Yeah, but this is who these people are supporting. They don't like what somebody says, and then they go and take his life. You don't even have the guts to stand up for what you believe in. If you think Charlie Kirk was such a devil, for God's sake, you should be. In other words, you should stand up for yourself and say, "Yeah, I did it." But you run away like a little girl because you're afraid. I mean, this is really, to me, this is the most gross thing. Watching this guy run away, I said to myself, "Look at this," and they're backing this guy. I mean, there's two sides to this. There's good and evil, and this guy is definitely.
I don't buy your thing that Cash is tired. Give me a freaking break. First of all,
he should have said something.
You and I have seen many an FBI director or similar person. You don't think the governor, the lead investigator from Utah, he's been living this. You think he slept? Now, come on. No,
he took the lead. The lead investigator. You're right.
When has Cash not been a disappointment since he took this job?
You're right. You're right. I mean, he's standing there like he's like an observer.
He's out. I hate to say it, Richie, because I hate to say it, but he's out of his league. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has padded his resume just like Bongino, the two of them. And I didn't see Bongino there.
I don't know what Bongino was.
The woman said that he was there. He was there, but he wasn't out there at the press conference.
No, he was up on the roof checking. I mean, what are these guys? They're not needed for a photo op. I mean, they're needed to be leaders.
He looked terrified, like he didn't know what the freak he was doing, Cash Patel. I'm sorry. I mean, I've given them so many chances. Yeah. Hey, Richie, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. If you would like to call in, the number is 888-465-2631. Now, listen, it's Friday, and typically on Fridays, we have open phones on Friday, open Mega Mike Friday, and I'm going to tell you, we're going to suspend that for today. it'll be open phones. I'll call it open phones light. Anything related to the Charlie Kirk assassination, anything connected to that is fair game, okay? But it's not the normal open phones. I'm going to call it open phones light. And what I mean by that is you can call in about anything related to the Charlie Kirk thing, even if I haven't brought it up on the program. You understand what I mean? The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. I would like, if you're on hold, stand by. I would like to hear your very specific thoughts on Kash Patel. And were you disappointed, maybe even embarrassed for the way he behaved in that press conference last night in Utah? I was. We'll be right back. All right, those of you that are new, we're on a radio station break right now. This is the bottom of the hour break on the radio. My name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You are all welcome to call in, regardless of your political ideology, okay? Although I don't understand why you're not all Republican and MAGA. But let me play this, what I was talking about. We'll go back to the calls after the radio station break. This is Kash Patel, who looks like, to me, the way I would describe it, he looks like the guy that just got out of the FBI Academy, just reported to work yesterday, and then all of a sudden, he's part of a team on the biggest case in America, and he doesn't know what he's freaking doing. He basically looks like the intern. Look at this. Look at him. You see the look on his face? He looks terrified to me. And you know, hey, listen, I've always been a fan of Kash Patel, but this is bad, you know. And when they had the press conference, the governor led the press conference and opened it, and he led it even at the end and closed it, and that's fine. He's the governor, and he did a good job. And then they had they had the chief law enforcement officer of Utah did the entire press conference. Kash should have at least come up and talked about what the FBI's doing on the scene. He's walked the scene. Bongino's been on the roof. Whatever it is, not this. And I'll tell you, there's no way that the president's not plenty ticked off. Now, there's another thing too. Was it Nancy Mace has introduced a resolution for Charlie Kirk to lie in state? What are your thoughts on that? All right, I'll take a call here during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice.
Hello, yes, I'm sorry. This is Naja calling from Denver, Colorado.
All right, Denver, Colorado.
I have 2 questions for you, Brian.
Go ahead.
All right, well, first I want to say I'm a 41-year-old woman. Trump was the first time I've ever voted in my life. And my 2 questions for you are, the first one is, how are we supposed to have a civil discourse with the left after they incited violence and obviously...
Well, because that's what... Excuse me, I want to answer that. Because that's what Charlie Kirk was doing. If you notice, at all of these college events that Charlie Kirk has done for I don't know how many years, right? You notice he's always sitting down. He's never standing.
That's true.
You know, and I've told you guys, I don't think that's by accident. I've told you guys that Charlie Kirk is a civil rights leader who modeled his activism on Martin Luther King, who modeled his on Gandhi. And Gandhi and Martin Luther King were both assassinated, by the way, too. And I think he sat down to have a more peaceful dialogue, like the old sit-ins of the 1960s. Mm-hmm. And so you say, how can we have civil dialogue? It's because that's what Charlie Kirk did, and that's what I think you can safely say Charlie would have wanted, because even after the president was shot by these never-Trumpers, he continued to do his peaceful events at the colleges. So no, that's the answer to that. What's the next?
The next question is, as far as the narrative that they're spinning right now as far as who the shooter is, how can we ever trust anything they say? I think about 9/11. I think about RFK. I think of JFK.
Well, we're going to get if we get the ID, it's going to be the ID. We may never know. You know, I believe, as I said yesterday, every nonstop, the same people that killed President Kennedy killed Charlie Kirk. Okay, same people. So we may not get that. We're not going to get that whole story. We never do.
That's true.
So just be prepared for that.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Take care. If you're on hold, stand by. There is one opening on the board, and let's see. Let me look at the time here. Hold on. Okay, we'll be back in about a minute. I'll wait to take calls until we're in a radio station break. Even when I took that call, so I'm going to wait for us to come back on the radio, and then I'll take the call. So if you're new, I host a morning radio show and morning drive that's on a whole bunch of FM radio stations, and I live stream on YouTube while I'm on the air. Right now, we're in a radio station break. The number is toll free, no matter where you are watching, and it is pinned in the live chat. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. And all viewpoints are welcome, okay? If you're liberal, you are more than welcome to call, all right? And, of course, if you're conservative, you're MAGA like me, you're also welcome to call. But we take all the calls screenless and unvetted. When you call in, I just put you on hold. And when I say, what's your name, where are you calling from, you're on the air, that's the first time anyone speaks to you. We do not use a call screener, all right? 888-465-2631. It's toll-free from anywhere. All right, stand by. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian Craig. I want to talk about Jupiter Joe Thomas. Oh, man, Jupiter Joe Thomas and annuities. You want to give him a call. You know, annuities are amazing. I tell this to Joe a lot. I have heard people talk about annuities for as long as I can remember, and I never understood them no matter how much they talked. When I first met Jupiter Joe Thomas, I sat down with Joe Thomas, and in less than 5 minutes, when he explained annuities to me, I was like, this is amazing. Why is everyone not doing this? Right? Because with annuities, your money's never at risk. When you put your money into an annuity, no matter what happens in the financial market, your nest egg is safe. You don't lose a dime. You don't lose a penny. Plus, you're guaranteed an income stream for the rest of your life. Joe Thomas is offering free consultations to our listeners, which you can take advantage of no matter where you are in the United States. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. If you missed the number, just go to his website, jupiterjoe.com. All right, to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. I've been watching you a long time. My name's Mickey. I watch you on YouTube usually. Yes. So I'm not really a partisan person. I'm kind of an independent. Right. So I just wanted to say I feel bad for anyone on either side.
Well, hold on a second here. This other side thing. There's this narrative going on that there's problems on both sides. That's complete BS. All of the violence is coming from one side, the left. All of it. So there's,
sir, I want to let you know, I helped a constitutionalist run for office in my area in Florida. Yeah. And I got hate here for it by your side. And he was right. And he was a third party. So I'm a constitutionalist, to be honest with you.
That means that's a losing proposition. If you're not Republican or Democrat, good luck.
I understand your show and that do you know what I mean? But
No, I don't know what you mean. What am I? What do you mean?
Well, no,
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
I'm allowed to have my... Well, I was trying to say that, when anybody hates anybody on either side, it's absolutely cruel. So I was actually trying to say to you, I've gotten hate and threats myself from, do you know what I mean? And I understand
all right,
how
I
your show
appreciate
works.
the call. I mean, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Caroline Levitt said that Trump is not an FBI informant who lied.
Well, I'll respond to that, okay? And I responded to this on my podcast. And it just
2 days ago you said he was.
I'm going to explain, okay? You're going to get an answer. It's not going to be the answer you like, but I'm going to give you a detailed answer, all right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, what's the answer? Give us.
Well, to hear the answer, you have to stop talking and listen. Can you do that?
All right, let's hear.
Okay.
Let's hear.
And I just want to catch people up to speed who may not be familiar. A week ago today, MAGA Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, was in an interview in the halls of Congress with this jerk fake news reporter from CNN about Epstein. Okay? And Speaker Johnson, in that interview, and he was pretty aggravated at this guy, he said that President Trump was an FBI informant who worked with the FBI to bring down Jeffrey Epstein. 2 days ago, before Charlie Kirk was assassinated by the left here, Caroline Levitt had a press conference at the White House. A reporter asked if President Trump is an FBI informant. She said, no, he is not. So my response to you is, no one was lying, so to speak. I believe that he was.
No, someone lied.
No, excuse me.
He changed 2 days.
What happened? What happened to this? What happened to this? Listening to the answer. Stop talking and listen. I'm giving you a very detailed.
Really? 2 days?
I am giving you. I am giving you a very detailed answer that I gave on my podcast right after the press conference. I believe he was, because Johnson said, an FBI informant working to bring down Epstein, but that was classified information. And Caroline Levitt had to say that because it wasn't supposed to be outed.
Okay, so is Mike Johnson getting fired then for releasing that?
How do you fire a man who's been elected to Congress who slipped with some classified intel? I'm sure it happened.
He released classified information.
Who fires him? Who fires him? Who would fire him?
You can't do that, right? Trump can. Can Trump?
Sure, Trump can say anything he wants about classified information. No, he can't fire a congressman. No.
Yeah, he can.
No, he can't. When is tell me when a president has fired a member of Congress. I missed that.
It's never happened because they've never leaked information, bro.
Bro, all right. Here Charlie Kirk is assassinated.
Oh, you're fixated on the bro. You won't answer what I said.
Well, bro, that's kind of like a weird thing. Here Charlie Kirk has been assassinated, and you're worried about this. What's the matter with you?
You're still pivoting.
I'm not pivoting.
Positions
I haven't changed my position. I got the same position. He was an FBI informant. All right, let's go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Tucson, Arizona. Charlie.
Charlie in Tucson. Go ahead.
Yeah, coincidentally, I guess. So I'm not sure if I've caught all the program, but there was video footage released both of the shooter walking to the school through the across the road in front of the house, but then later on up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then later on, he jumped off the roof and he passed through the field behind the neighborhood.
Yes.
Okay. I thought for a moment you'd said they hadn't caught footage of him limping toward the place.
I haven't seen if he was limping before he got there.
Yeah, when he was walking through the neighborhood.
I didn't. That's not how I read it, but maybe. I mean, listen. This is breaking news that's developing, and information's coming in quick. Maybe. All right. Take care. All right. Just a lot of weirdness and creepiness in this world, isn't there? I want to ask you this, and this is one of the most important things I'm going to ask you today. Are you in pain? Are you in pain? Oh man, pain sucks. It sucks. I mean, if you're suffering from pain, you know exactly what I mean. I used to be in pain until I met Dr. Appleton, and he treated me with his laser away pain treatment, which works on every type of pain I've ever heard of. He has rid me of pain 7 times, and he can do the same with you. With the laser wave pain treatment, which Dr. Appleton performs all the laser treatments himself, not an assistant, there's no surgery, no shots, no medications, no downtime. It's completely painless. You don't even feel it when it's happening. And my favorite part is it works and rids you of the pain. Arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, strains and sprains, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, stenosis. Have you been in a car accident? Have you had a fall? It works with those types of pains as well. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. If you have x-rays or scans, bring them with you. Dr. Appleton, he'll look them over for you. 954-973-0710 is his number. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain, like I've done 7 times. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. We'll be right back. All right, we are not back yet. This is a radio station break, but I'll take a call during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Trisha from Minneapolis.
Trisha in Minneapolis. What's on your mind?
Yeah. I'm just wondering how come we're not seeing the police dogs, like any video of cops on the ground with the tracking dogs going after this guy's path.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, these are all good questions. I was talking earlier to Richie the bus driver, and I was talking earlier on the show as well. Two similar manhunts like this, where you have a killer on the loose, the Boston bomber, and then the Versace killer in Miami Beach. And both of them were within just a few short miles, almost walking distance from the incident. The Boston bomber was hiding in a boat in a boat in someone's backyard. The Versace killer broke into someone's houseboat and was hiding there right up the street. There's a very good chance that this guy is hiding in someone's shed or RV in that neighborhood. Very good chance.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if he's limping and he's probably sweating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. And whether or not the limping was on the way to or the way from, he's still limping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's, I'm surprised and very, very curious as to why we're not seeing the swarms, the best tracking dogs you ever saw.
Well, some of it might be that Kash Patel looks like he's clueless. I mean, the guy...
He looks like deer in the headlights.
I mean, I'm so disappointed. Now, the guy, the head of the Utah State Police, whatever he is, the public work, whatever they call it, like public safety director, whatever he is, he seems pretty sharp, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I know. I when you showed that of him of Cash, I was going, what in the heck is going on here?
He's an embarrassment. He is an embarrassment.
Deer in the headlights. Yeah.
I mean, why the heck did he even go? I assumed he went out there with Bongino to show that he's not a poser.
Right. I was kind of hoping I'd see Bongino, too.
I didn't see Bongino. Somebody told me he was on the roof. Okay, he was on the roof. Okay, well, case closed then. Bongino was on the roof.
Yeah.
That's these two guys. I have believed. Listen, there's no one more MAGA than me. You guys know that, okay?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I said this earlier, and then I said, well, let's give him a chance. And now we got some real world thing. Bongino and Kash Patel don't know what they're doing, and they've been hyping up, padding their resumes on the air for the last few years. It seems to me.
Yeah. I used to watch Bongino's show all the time. I thought he'd come in there with his sleeves rolled up and looking like such a tough guy.
On one year on my birthday, my mother got me a really cool birthday gift. She got me one of those things. She took me to Homestead Raceway, the racetrack, and she got me where I got to drive one of the NASCAR cars on the track, which is something I always wanted to do. And my mom got me that for my birthday years ago, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life. It's a real NASCAR. I'm out on the track, and it was terrifying. I never really was a big fan of NASCAR until I got some respect for those guys. I don't care if you drive down I-95 at 120 miles an hour. It's not the same as driving a NASCAR on Homestead Raceway with professional drivers going by you at over 160 miles an hour, and you go on these bank turns where you're pulling G's and everything else, and if you go down to the bottom of the track where it's flat, you'll spin out. I was terrified, and I've never done it again. Well, that's how Kash Patel seems. He doesn't know what the freak he's doing.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to start calling him the intern.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, I got to run, okay?
Well,
all right, thanks for the call. All right, now this is a radio station break we're coming back from in about 30 seconds. So if you're on hold, stand by, and we'll get back to the calls after the break. If you want to call in, there's one opening on the board at 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're at, and the number is pinned in the live chat. All right, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. My name is Brian Craig, and while Friday is normally open phones on Friday, we call it Open MAGA Mike Friday, we're suspending that today. I'm calling it Open Phones Light, Open MAGA Mike Light Friday today. You can call in about any and everything related to the Charlie Kirk assassination. It doesn't have to be an aspect that I brought up. But I'm talking a little bit today about this FBI press conference last night. Kash Patel looked terrified. He didn't speak. And, I mean, the way I describe him, he looks like an intern to me. It's very bizarre and very disappointing. And I was excited that when I heard that he had flown out there with Bongino, I'm like, okay, we're going to see them front and center. He didn't speak, and he looked scared. And I did not even see Bongino at the press conference. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Renee from Harlem.
Hey, Renee.
I just wanted to call your White Power Hour and let you people know that your favorite victim here, Charlie Kirk, he was trying to start a race war, and he got capped by another white man. Isn't that sad? That must break your heart.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
What kind of person are you?
What kind of person are you? You're a racist, and you're trying to start a race war.
Wow. How do you inject, if it's two white guys, how do you inject race in it?
Well, Charlie Kirk was the guy that really didn't want to have any black pilots flying a plane.
That's not true.
Because he wants to start a race
That's
war.
not true. You're so dishonest with yourself. What happened was first. Listen. Even though what is coming out of your mouth is complete filth, I've kept you on the air. All right. So show me a little respect. Show me a little respect. Okay. There was a big story that came out in the news that one of the big airlines was bragging about the DEI hires they have flying their planes.
Yeah.
And what Charlie Kirk was talking about is what everyone was talking about. He would not excuse. Oh yeah, everybody was talking about it. It was the talk of the nation.
No, just him. Him and other
Renee,
racists like you.
Renee, let me get my thought out. All right, or I'll just end the call and do this without you. All right, I got a full board of calls, and and you're annoying. Okay. And there was a discussion going on that Charlie Kirk was talking about that he wouldn't want to fly on a plane that was being flown by a DEI pilot who didn't earn it. And because of their bragging about the DEI hires, everyone's going to assume that black pilots and female pilots are DEI hires. And would you get on a plane that had painted on it, "This plane flown by a DEI pilot"? Would you do that?
You know, the DEI is basically the Trump administration. You know that, right?
I didn't ask you that. So you wouldn't either. So you agree with Charlie Kirk. Thank you very much. He would not get on. See, notice that? He didn't answer. He couldn't even get himself to lie. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning. morning, Brian. How you doing? My name's Nathan. I'm a truck driver from Kentucky.
All right.
I'm actually out on the road right now listening to you.
Hey, Nathan.
I was going to talk to you a little bit about the shooter as he walked in. We saw him with a limp coming in, correct?
Mm-hmm. It looks to be that way. I'm a little unsure about that. Maybe.
Now, I've have you looked at the geolocation? If you looked at it from the above, like Google Maps, if you look at the house that actually saw him walking in, he's walking in with the limp. The reason I believe he's walking in with the limp is because he's got that rifle tucked up under his shirt.
Yes.
And down
Yeah, a lot of people think that.
backpack.
Yes.
I think he has it strapped to him.
That's one of the theories. That's one of the theories. Correct. That that he had the rifle strapped to his leg. That is one of the theories. Yes.
Well, he's got a little bit of a bend, so I think it was actually the bulge of it was covered by his backpack. But the only thing I'm confused about is whenever you see the newest footage that they showed him jumping off of the roof, I don't actually see the rifle. And
No.
he dropped the rifle in the woods, so he came off the roof with that rifle. The only thing I don't understand is I did not see the rifle as he's jumping off of the roof.
Yeah,
I know
and his
had
legs are
backpack
bent,
in his hand.
and his legs are bent, right? You're right,
Right, and
because he
he's
bent
had a full
down.
run, man.
He had to bend down to jump off the ledge. Yes.
Right, he had to bend down, and he had a lot more mobility than when he was limping in, because whenever he's coming back out, you see him in that field on the backside of those houses off the same camera. You see him run across the back of that field.
Yes.
But
So where's the rifle? How did he get off the roof with the rifle? Is the question. These are
right,
all,
because the rifle was found in the woods.
Yes.
Him jumping off that roof, I don't see that rifle as him jumping. And it's a far off shot, so it might be hard to see.
absolutely.
But I just didn't see the rifle as.
No, I didn't either. These are all very good questions. It'd be nice if Kash Patel would speak.
Yeah, we need there's got to be more footage, because there's cameras all over there's got to be cameras all over that entire building, like all the buildings around there. There's got to be more cameras. They just haven't got them out to us yet.
Absolutely.
I just don't think that we've got all the points of view yet.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And the passing cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the problem is it's been over 24 hours. We're now going on close to 36 hours. We're like at 36 hours after the shooting.
And almost 24 since the image was released, and he hasn't been identified yet.
Right, and the biggest problem is he hasn't been identified yet, and there's a lot of people out there spouting a lot of stuff about, oh, well, we support what he did. We support what he did. It's like, there might be someone putting him up right now. It's like keeping him hidden.
But like I said, there's a good
friend
chance. There's a good chance he's in someone's shed, too, hiding.
Or in another state by now, because it doesn't take me.
Or Bolivia, in another country. He could be in
4 states
Venezuela
over.
or Iran. Who knows? He could be in another country. We're gonna find out soon.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate the call. But like I said, in these mass incidents, if you look at them, right? Boston bombing, Versace, Lee Harvey Oswald, John Wilkes Booth. If you notice, in all these instances, as much planning that went into the assassinations, they didn't spend any time planning a getaway, did they? And in all of these, they had no getaway plan. So we don't know what we don't know. However, based on all of these others, the chances are he's very nearby. Now, I want to talk about this incredible new offer from Sloman Shield Link. Listen to this. You can enhance your entire home experience with Sloman's Shield Link. It's an all-in-one ecosystem that integrates all your smart devices with the Sloman's Shield. Listen to this. The Sloman Shield Link takes your everyday routines and actions based on your preferences and connects your devices to react based on how you live your life. Listen to this. You get home, your lights come on. Your favorite music and television turns on as you enter the home. The Sloman Shield Link can act in almost any scenario and create scenes based on what you want to happen. Listen to this. whether you want your thermostat to turn down when you turn your alarm on, or automatically lock your doors to ensure that your security lighting's on. These scenarios can be done with, boom, very easily with the Sloman's Shield link. It's compatible with all the devices you already have, too. Give them a call, 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. If you're on hold, standby. I'm going to go back to the phones after. Well, you know what? I looked. No, I don't have time to take a call right now. I'll just have to end it before we're done. But listen, I just cannot make excuses anymore for Kash Patel. Listen, everyone that Trump has hired is spectacular, except Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. That's pretty good by me. And he's an embarrassment. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Our number's toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're listening. The first hour is done. We'll be back right after our top of the hour break. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. So, during the break here, I want to go over, this is the press conference, and we'll see some of the video. Let me go through when they bring the guy up. Okay, they're going to go through the video.
Bo Mason, if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that.
This is what the caller was talking about. Let's take a look.
So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner.
There he is. He's running on the roof.
As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that.
No.
It's important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence.
Yeah, I didn't see the rifle. Did you guys?
So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced.
Let me go to where he's walking.
Commissioner Mason, I want to thank Director.
Okay.
The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo.
Okay, all right, we'll be back shortly. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll go back to the phones when we get back. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Hour number 2 has begun. We're talking about the latest updates from the case with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You're welcome to call in about anything related to the Charlie Kirk assassination on the program today. Our number, 888-465-2631. I'm just going to go back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Pete from Oakland Park.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, first of all, I'd like to give my condolences to Charlie's widow and those 2 little children that have wondered where their dad's at this morning, and it was just terrible. And this guy that I'm looking at.
Hold on one second. I mean, the phones are ringing.
Somebody's got to know who he. Huh?
Somebody's got to know who he is. I mean, yeah, it's been about 20 hours since they released it. And, you know, when they announced they were releasing the photo yesterday, I thought within 15 minutes we would get a positive ID with the way the internet works. And to be a day later and not have a positive ID seems insane to me in the modern era with social media, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I just... I'm wondering, do they have a cash reward out to
$100,000? $100,000.
Well, they are up at with all the rich mega billionaires. Man, we should up it and find this dude and prosecute him to the highest thing. And I just want to say,
what does it tell?
Yeah, about cash.
Oh yeah, good. Get to Cash.
I agree with you about Cash Patel. Hey, he's out of his element there. You know, I was in the Army for 4 years, and I'm telling you, that guy, he's not suited for the job. So
no, he's not. It's bad.
But you're doing a great job, Brian, and we're behind you. Me and my wife, we watch you every day, and we're behind you 100%.
Well, thank you.
And let's hope we catch this monster.
Mm-hmm. All right. Appreciate the call. Take care. You know, if you're on hold, stand by. There's one opening on the board. This is another thing that's, you know, we're almost a full day since the images were released. Are you also not shocked that he hasn't been ID'd already? This is America's Most Wanted times infinity. Everyone's following this case. If he were a local guy in Utah, you would think, huh? Utah it's not the most populated state, and everybody knows somebody, you know, and the clothing he wore was unusual too. I'll tell you, the Converse sneakers, you don't see those too much anymore, especially on guys. You know, the Converse sneakers like that, most of the people that wear them are girls these days, and guys don't wear them that often. I have a pair of them. I haven't worn them in years, 5 years. I don't know. I got them in the closet, you know, because I don't find them comfortable. I'd rather wear my Vans. But someone that wears those types of Converse, who's a guy, stands out. And not to have him positively, I know there's some people online saying it's this particular person. I'm not giving out any names until it's confirmed by law enforcement and the media. But that's just so bizarre to me. Here's another thing I want to highlight. If he's a local from Utah, good chance he'd be Mormon. Mormons are obsessed with genealogy. Pretty much every Mormon in Utah has had a DNA test done. If he's a Mormon, he's in the DNA database. And if he's not, his cousins are, parents are, his extended family are. It seems so strange that we haven't gotten a positive ID on this guy yet. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Vicki. I'm calling from Oklahoma.
Hey, Vicki.
I don't know if people know it, but Cash and Charlie were very close friends, and maybe that's the reason, because he's too close to the
Yeah,
case.
really. So was J.D. Vance, who escorted his body home yesterday and helped acted as a pallbearer. And I didn't see him looking like he didn't know what the heck was going on.
Yeah, true, and you might be right, but some people handle grief a little differently.
Well, then if he's that
he shouldn't have even been there.
If he's that hysterical, he needs to resign.
Correct. Yeah, if he's that upset, he probably
did Kash Patel look like a guy who's really running the FBI at that press conference last night?
No, he looked like he was scared or something.
Like he didn't know what the freak was going on or what to do. He looked terrified.
He looked like a zombie, and I've got it on. I stopped the video, and the picture I got here. He looks like he's scared to death or something.
Scared to death because he doesn't know what he's doing or what to do. He just doesn't know.
No, I hope you're wrong, but you could be right.
I mean, it's been months of this crap. It started with that Bartiromo interview, and I was thinking, okay, this is going to be the moment. Kash and Bongino step up. Look at this. Posers.
Yeah, I didn't see that. All I seen was the clips that you showed, and yeah, that looked kind of sad.
It did. Sad. That's a good word. All right, take care. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I think that's a good descriptor. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sherry from Texas.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, there was a weird. I was looking at his photo that they put up on social media.
The assassin?
Oh my gosh. I have to say this. I got the
hold on one second.
Bottom of
I hit the wrong button. Yeah, go ahead. I apologize. I hit the wrong button. Go ahead. You saw the photo and what?
What was the name of the guy that did the Idaho killings?
Oh, I can't think of his name offhand.
If you take a look at that assassin's photo, his profile, he looks exactly like him.
A lot of people were saying yesterday, was he wearing a mask?
I don't know, but I will tell you the side profile showed the socket of his eye.
Kohlberger?
Yes. It's almost like it's his twin.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that looks just like him. But you're right. In Utah, you would think they would have already located him. It's not like he's in the state of Texas, right?
Yeah.
So, and Kash Patel, I'm on board with everybody else. I just feel like he's incompetent in this position.
He's just, he and Bongino have just hyped up their resumes, and they're very good at it. And they got these jobs based on the hype that they created, and they don't know what they're doing. And that's the way it is.
It's been long enough now, Brian, that this man could be anywhere. And when he was on the one side, he did the shot.
We lost the call. All right, her cell cut out. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. My name is John, and I'm calling from Cocoa Beach, Florida.
All right, John in Cocoa Beach. What's up? The Space Coast.
Yes, sir. They fly right over my house whenever they launch.
That's pretty cool. You could make money just letting people park at your house and watch the launches.
I'm not that close. I'm about 20 miles
That's
south,
pretty close.
But I definitely see them. I hear them, and my house vibrates.
I see them here. I watch space launches all the time from my house, and I'm in Palm Beach.
Yeah, I used to live in Pompano. I moved up here 2 years ago.
Awesome.
I love it.
So what's on your mind?
Yeah. Okay, just a quick question. I'm an independent voter. I have voted both Republican and Democrat.
Yeah.
I have not voted for Trump. And what my call and question is that if Democrats or Republicans, for that matter, I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. I own a gun. I go shooting. I go hunting. If Democrats or Republicans, for that matter, happen to create some type of gun control legislation, I'm not saying to eliminate guns or come after your guns. I'm just saying some type of legislation to get things under control with all these mass shootings.
I don't understand why. Wait.
Just let me
finish your sentence. I'm up against a break.
And if they called it, and again, either Democrats
Like the
or
Charlie Kirk
Republicans,
bill. Yeah.
if they called it the Charlie Kirk Act, would MAGA and Republicans support it?
Your mind's in outer space with one of those SpaceX launches in Cocoa Beach. You know, here's the thing, okay?
Have a great day, and thanks for.
Why are you hanging up? Don't hang up. I'm talking to you. He hung up. He doesn't want a discussion. You think that guy's a nonpartisan guy, liberal hack? I had a really good question that I'm not going to tip off. I might ask someone else. But these people that talk about gun control, what he asked was this, a very stupid question. If they passed gun control legislation and called it the Charlie Kirk bill, would MAGA support it? No. Listen, we already have a law. You know, these people that have this idea, well, if gun control laws would stop this. Maybe you're not aware of this. Do you know we have a ban on murder and assassinations? Shocker. And you know what? These killers don't obey them. So why do you think if you pass a law that these bad guys are going to obey them? Now, I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Coastal Weight Loss Secret, you know, if you think losing weight is impossible, that you have to starve yourself, you have to exercise, and the little tiny bits of food you have to eat are god-awful food that you hate, that's just not the case. In fact, with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, losing weight is a breeze. And you know what? Keeping it off is just as easy as losing it. You know, you can lose 10 to 20% of your body fat in the first 60 days. That's right. In the first 3 weeks, I lost about 20 pounds. In the first 3 weeks, Dr. Zuckerman over at Coastal Weight Loss is absolutely amazing. There's no pills, no injections, no surgery, no working out. And the best part, I was never hungry and I ate foods I would normally eat. And you guys who watch me online, you've seen my progress and my miraculous weight loss. It is amazing. My stomach is flat. I never thought that would happen. And I've lost many inches off my waist. And if you watch me online on YouTube, you can see I got my neck back, my chin, I got my bone structure. My face was round. And we had a big event on Inauguration Day at Wings Plus. And it was standing room only. I mean, it was, we had more than one seating. And I took so many pictures that day. And a lot of you posted those pictures on social media or sent them to me. I'm embarrassed at what I used to look like. I really am. I did not realize how much weight I have gained. But now I weigh what I did when I married my wife 29 years ago. Call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. They can help you no matter where you are in the United States. We have listeners all over America who have called Coastal Weight Loss Secret and have lost weight just like I have. Here's the number, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. We'll be right back. All right, I'll take a call here during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you're on hold. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Sandra from Indiana.
Hey, Sandra.
Again.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, sorry about breaking up yesterday and crying.
Hey, I was doing it too, you know.
You had mentioned about maybe laying his body in state there in Arizona.
Oh, no, at the Capitol building in Washington. No,
yeah.
I think it was Nancy.
The Capitol in Washington.
I think it was, hold on. I think it was Nancy Mace. Hold on. Yeah, Nancy Mace has introduced a resolution to have Charlie Kirk lie in state at the Capitol building. Mm-hmm.
Well, the only worry I have about that is the radical liberals and these protesters showing up and making a scene, especially if they actually went into the Capitol building. I'm afraid.
Well, I'll tell you, I think it should be done. And I will. I'm if they do that, I would do my best to go to D.C. myself and honor Charlie Kirk. And I think he's deserved. And we control the joint, okay? We control both houses. We got the speaker. So we're in charge. There's no reason that should not happen, and we should push for it to happen. We're in charge. Charlie Kirk is our guy. He was assassinated by those who oppose our great president, okay? And lying in state is appropriate.
But did you realize Alex Jones mentioned this, that a book was printed or put out?
I don't know. I don't
hours.
think that's true.
I know it's.
I don't think that's true.
It's online.
I saw it online, and I went and did a quick look at that, and that does not seem to be factual to me. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Ron Yates, that's on YouTube, actually had him talking about Alex Jones actually talking about that book.
I understand, but I don't think that's true.
Okay.
All right. Hey, listen, I got to run. All right. Now we're on a radio station break. We're coming back in a few seconds. If you're on hold, stand by. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the chat. All right. Hold on. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. You're welcome to call in about anything involving the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It is not our regular open phones on Friday. It's not our regular open MAGA Mike Friday, but anything involving this god-awful event brought to us by these forces of evil is fair game at 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Holly, and I'm from South Carolina.
Holly, what's on your mind?
Well, I actually have a question for you, but first and foremost, I think we can all agree we just need to take a minute and think about his family and have thoughts and prayers for his family. Mm-hmm. And nobody should have to deal with this. Like, the violence has to stop in general. Yep. But my question is, am I the only one who is thinking it's weird, the line of questioning that was asked as it happened?
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about this, that the person that asked about the trans shooting violence, a lot of people are wondering if that was a cue, a signal to the shooter. Yeah, that's been talked about a lot. And I'm also wondering if these, and I'll tell you, there's another thing that I find very suspicious are these two guys that they were trying to tell us were the shooters in the beginning. I'm wondering if they were somehow put there as a distraction to help the assassin escape.
Because to me personally, this just does not feel like it's a one-person job.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know. I just maybe have a weird feeling about it, but it just...
You're not alone.
It's just very odd to me.
Yeah. No, you're not alone.
Because like he didn't even get to finish his statement. Mm-hmm. Like it's very odd.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but, it could be, a signal like that could be because he's going to answer and lean up and sit up when he answers. So a question like that gets the shooter prepared to aim for when he sits up to answer the question. It very well could have been a signal. Very well could have been.
Because he had already spent 20 minutes on one question before. There was ample time. Like, it just seemed like the question that was asked had something to do with it.
Absolutely, Holly. All right, that's a good catch. Thank you for the call. Welcome to the program, all right? All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Bob from Boca. Do you know if they have a GoFundMe set up for the shooter yet? I mean, he's probably going to need some funds.
I'm trying to figure out what you're all about. Are you trying to be funny or stupid? You want to make yourself look foolish?
I'm just trying to trigger a retard like yourself. It's so much fun to trigger retards.
Who's triggered by you? All right. Oh, my goodness. He held on for, I don't know how long for that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Barry from Louisiana.
Hey, Louisiana. What's up?
I just talked to my brain talking about they have DNA from the killer yesterday. Mm-hmm. And my thought is why can't we here in the U.S. take DNA from everyone?
Well, they pretty much have. This thing about I'm glad you called about this with the DNA. I don't, about 5 years ago or so, one of the big DNA companies was offering DNA genealogical testing for like $25, and everybody did it. I didn't do it, okay? I mean, what's my DNA going to show? That I'm descendant of some white people from Europe? Shocker. I mean, but
I know.
But the thing is, like, they got a serial killer about 5 or so years ago in California. The Golden State Killer or something like this, and they got him from that DNA testing that I was just talking about. He didn't do the DNA because he's a serial killer, but somebody in his extended family did. They got a familial match. Okay, so even though I haven't gotten the DNA testing, okay, enough of my relatives and siblings have that I'm in a database too, even though I haven't done it. So what I was talking about earlier is if this assassin is a local from the state of Utah, there's a good chance he's Mormon. All the Mormons in Utah have had DNA testing. Mormons are, I know this is kind of a negative way to say it, but I don't mean it in a negative way, but Mormons are obsessed with genealogy. So if he's from Utah, good chance he's Mormon. He's in the DNA database, either himself or a relative who's Mormon. So if they got his DNA, they should be able to match him pretty quick or get a familial match, because pretty much everybody's in the DNA database now.
Right. Okay, well, I appreciate it.
All right, take care. Great call. All right, brought up some good points. We have smart people in the audience. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Lenny from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Lenny.
There's no words that can express what you, I, and most people with a moral compass is going through.
Oh, yeah.
The sadness is always going to be there, but it's gotten past the sadness to where even one of your callers said it's the anger, and that will pass too, because we know that the person who Charlie was, who he was, what he stood for, not only as an individual that was reaching out to the young generation today and trying to make changes to change the way that these kids have been indoctrinated in the schools, in the colleges, and the high schools.
Yeah.
Not only in his debates and everything else, but I have listened to you for years, and it was through your show that I even found out about what happened to Charlie, and to see you visibly shaking the way you were brought me to tears.
Yeah.
Now, all day yesterday, all they talked about was this FBI conference, news conference.
Oh, yeah.
All day they talked about. All day they talked about all the new footage, all this new evidence.
Yep.
They found the gun. They have fingerprints, and yet there's no talk about who this. Now the pictures are with the technology that is available through the FBI and all three letter organizations. The amount of people that are involved in this, when you're 100% right.
Yeah, listen, I gotta run for the break. I gotta run for the break, so I'll give you the last word.
Okay. There's so much that was presented, but as soon as the commissioner got up and spoke and mentioned that there were no questions that were going to be answered, that's immediately when that whole thing went south.
Yeah.
And when it was turned over to the commissioner, the pictures, that whole video, what was speculative, and it's not. And the truth is not going to come.
Yeah, there was no new. They
until
said they
answers-
said there was some big break in the case, and they didn't have anything. Hey, listen, I got to run, but thank you for the call. If you're on hold, hang in there. Every line on the board is lit right now, guys. No, there's one opening. There's one opening on the board if you'd like to call in. I want to talk about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. There's huge savings going on right now with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE at MyPillow.com, and the free shipping offer is in place. You can use our promo code KANE on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. I've been highlighting all week the MyPillow 6-piece towel set because I have a couple sets of these towels, okay? These are the most incredible towels you've ever used in your life. You know, I have two examples I give. One day, I go to take my shower in the morning. All the towels are dirty. Everything's out in the laundry room, which is my garage. And all I had that was clean was the washcloth from the 6-piece MyPillow towel set. Just a little washcloth. I use that as my towel. The MyPillow towels are so good. I dried my hair and entire body off with just the little tiny washcloth. That's how good these towels are. They're just $39.98 with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. They come in 10 different colors. The regular price is $69.98, so they're $30 off. Get yourself a couple sets, and the free shipping offer is in effect as well. Go to MyPillow.com and use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, for huge savings. MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout. We'll be right back. Now, I wanted to, if you're on hold, stand by. We're in a radio station break. I wanted to play this clip. This is from the CBS morning show yesterday.
Yeah, and Mr. Speaker, I want to get back to you. And as Tony mentioned, not everyone took to his words or his rhetoric. You know, at times, they were offensive to specific communities. But with that...
So what? He's offensive to me right now. You know, someone's always offensive, okay, or offended. So what? What is he's implying that Charlie Kirk brought this upon himself, right? That's exactly what he's implying.
Times they were offensive to specific communities. But with that said, this is not the time to focus on that. We are focused on this tragedy. Speaking of this tragedy, is this a moment for your party to reflect on political violence? Is it a moment for us to think about the responsibility of our political leaders and their voices and what it does to the masses as they get lost in misinformation or disinformation that turns in and spills into political violence?
I say both parties. I mean, here he is. He's blaming Republicans. We're not the ones that are violent. It is the left. Okay? Not only did they assassinate Charlie Kirk, we've got a Trump assassin on trial right now here in Florida in Fort Pierce for the golf course assassination, and they shot the president in Butler. And what the media are trying to do is get this discussion going on that somehow we're the violent ones. I don't think so. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca. How are you?
All right, Sandra.
So I actually had to wait a couple days to call in because of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear about news, you hear about people die every day, but I don't know what it was about this particular event that really knocked the wind out of my sail completely.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just pretty much, the minute I found out, I got on my knees and I prayed for his survival. And obviously it wasn't to be.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much, you know, I know with my faith and the faith that he had, we both know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that somebody can continue his legacy, because in this whole argument lately about mental illness, yes, I do believe that it does exist, but I also believe that these people are just pure evil.
See, if you're mentally ill, hold on. If you're mentally ill and you're so far gone, you don't know what you're doing, you don't try to escape. Right? That, they say that mental insanity is the most difficult defense. You've heard that. The reason that the insanity defense is difficult, because you don't have to just prove the person's crazy. You have to prove that they were not aware that what they were doing was wrong. You know, like Nicholas Cruz in Parkland, he had a very complex escape. This guy that assassinated Charlie Kirk, he escaped. you know. So people that are so far gone mentally, they don't try to escape. They think they've done something good. They're not that insane.
And I just happened to, you know, the guy on the bus or whatever, the train.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That's right.
He's mentally ill. No, he took an opportunity. That's all it was.
They're all mentally ill in jail. Anybody who kills and does incredible violence and harm to people has mental illness. It's not an excuse.
But the thing is that it's just, to me, it's more evil than mental illness, because the way they calculate it, the way it's planned, the way he was on the route, it's just, you know, I know about mental illness because I have a couple of my family that are mentally
I'm
ill.
short on time. I got to go in like 10 seconds.
Sure.
But I appreciate the call, and you make some good points, okay? All right, take care. All right, we're in a radio station break for a few seconds longer. And when we come back, I'll go right back to the calls. If you want to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. Okay, toll free, no matter where you are tuned in from. 888-465-2631. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. So Nancy Mace has introduced a resolution, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, for Charlie Kirk to lie in state at the Capitol. I am very much a supporter of that. I don't know what the history is of people lying in state that were not government officials or members of the Congress. I don't know. But I do know this, that the reaction to Charlie Kirk is one of the most beloved Americans that we've had in the last 100 years. Okay? I think all of you out there that are MAGA, all of you that are conservative, need to let your voices be known on social media, tagging all the people you need to tag, that you want Charlie Kirk to lie in state, that you support Nancy Mace's resolution. We are in control of the Congress, both houses. We control the White House. We control everything. Mike Johnson can do this just by saying so. And I think it's incredibly appropriate. I really, truly do. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ben from Pompano. How
Hey,
you
Ben.
doing?
All right, Ben. The best I can be on a day like this. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, understandable. You know what? I got a few things to say. First off, I want everyone to notice that there's no riots in the street, there's no burning in the street, there's no looting in the street. We are inherently on MAGA a better people. All this violence is one-sided, whether it was Kavanaugh, whether it was Lee Zeldin, Trump again. We had when they went after it was the two Israelis out in D.C. outside the Israeli-American embassy, who yelled "Free Palestine." The summer
That's
of
right.
2020.
That's right.
Steve Scalise. We had Steve Scalise. You know, we had it just goes on and on and on and on. And never do we riot, ever. I know this is going to be for a lot of people in this generation. They're much older, so this might be considered blasphemy. But for me, this is like JFK, and I'll tell you why. I listened to him. He was a part of my life for every day for years. Every day I'm downloading his podcast and listening to it while I'm at work, or I'm going to him for election news. He was a part every day. He was. I would turn on Steve Bannon and he'd be there, or I'd listen to like some show and he'd be on, and he was only growing. And I was listening to him every day, and all of a sudden he's just taken from us. He's taken from us. And I swear to God, if this becomes like the Las Vegas shooter or the guy the butler, and we don't figure anything out, I don't even know if I can call myself a Republican anymore, because Republicans, a big failure of
Well,
this
listen,
has
Charlie Kirk was one of the president's closest and best friends, and he's
I've never seen Trump
all
so
over this.
upset.
No, at the Pentagon yesterday. The president and first lady at the Pentagon yesterday, they were somewhere else. You could tell they were. I've never seen the president, so you could see his whole body was like, ugh, you know.
I know, and he was so depressed. And then I saw him in the Yankees locker room, and he was like, I've never seen a man carry such heavy burden and then still carry on with his duty. He works stop. Just like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was doing his show in the morning in Phoenix, then jumping over to like some campus event in Nebraska, then flying back to Phoenix, and his schedule was grueling. He was the best of us, and that's the worst part of it. He was our last attempt to show the left that we're still willing to dialogue with you. We're still willing to talk, and that was too much for them. He was our, and you know what's going to come after Charlie Kirk? Someone who's a lot worse. That's how these things work. He was the best of us, and that wasn't good. And so what comes next? You know, it's just, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. And Democrats, they're not going to change. You're not a radical, and then you de-radicalize. The whole point of being a radical is you embrace the extreme views and you keep pursuing them. They're not going to de-escalate. That's the whole point. And the best that we could get out of this is to be like, all right, we'll chill for a month. But then they'll just go right back to their old ways, you know. And so I don't know what to do. You know, this is
you know, this is what I know. We're in charge. And what do you think about Nancy Mace's resolution of Charlie Kirk lying in state at the Capitol building?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Absolutely.
I think we should build a statue of Charlie Kirk.
Absolutely.
I think we should a huge statue in Washington, D.C., dedicated to the principles of open dialogue and free speech.
Maybe the president should name the ballroom after Charlie Kirk.
Something monumental.
That's forever.
You know,
something forever.
I really
something forever.
Exactly. And, you know, just God bless him in this country. And I'm just so, I've never been choked up over a celebrity death. You know, I really gone through my life. This is the first one where it really hit me. Like, I've been depressed. I really just feel terrible. And so I'm just, you know, I don't know where to go from here, but I do know that the reason they took him out is because he was effective. He was too good at what he was doing.
You know what I want him to lie in state like nobody's business. I really do. I mean, this is Charlie Kirk is the JFK and MLK of the 21st century.
Absolutely. This is like a 60s event where it was like RFK, MLK, JFK. You had Malcolm X, you know, all these people being taken. This is what it feels like. They only understand violence. The free speech does not work with these animals because they think we're like oppressing them. They really see us. It's unreal. And the left is not going to change. Ilhan Omar, being the disgusting piece of human trash that she is, you know, said what she said yesterday.
Oh.
But, you know, we have to continue Charlie's mission because that's what they wanted to stop. They wanted to stop
That's right.
And we have to create the future that they were trying to avoid. And, you know, I'm glad you're out there doing what you're doing, Brian, because we really just everyone needs to step up and fill in this huge, immense gap that he has left.
All right. Take care. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I agree with everything he said. There's not a point that was just made that I take issue with. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hold on, Sanford. Let me answer these 200 calls coming in. All right. Bill in Sanford, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize for the call I had yesterday. It was inappropriate, and I'll let that go. That one caller earlier about the guy jumping off the roof without the weapon, I'm wondering if there was somebody else, an accomplice, where he threw the weapon over outside a camera view, and that person put it in the woods because he didn't go back. He didn't have the weapon when he jumped off the roof. What happened to the weapon? I'm thinking.
Very good question. No, these are good questions. Yeah. You know, see, there's a few things. One, I was talking earlier. This guy that asked the question, was that a signal to the assassin? And these two clowns that distracted the couple of cops that were there, that they thought were those old men they thought were the assassins at first. What a convenient distraction those guys were, right? You know, I mean, how did that happen?
Yeah,
how did that happen?
There could be a number of people involved in this that we don't know about.
Other than the fact that the incident has happened, okay, and I'm still in shock. The second thing that I'm in shock about is we're about 20 hours or so, close to it, since those photos were released with the video last night in primetime. It is beyond belief that we don't have an ID yet. Everyone in the country is watching this. And you can tell people by their stance, the way they walk, their face, the parents, anyone, the hat and sunglasses interfere with facial recognition. That's why you can't wear your sunglasses and a ball cap into the bank. Okay? But it just is beyond my imagination that they don't have an ID on this guy yet.
Well, yeah, because go back to John Welch. He has, look at all the criminals he caught, and he didn't get probably 1/10 of the attention that this one has throughout the nation.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was all over the nation. John Welch was probably not all over the nation.
This is the first manhunt. We've had these manhunts before. This is the first manhunt we've had with as much social media. I know Boston bombing, but it wasn't like today. There's so much social media now. I talk to 90-year-old people that are on X, so we've never had a manhunt at this level with so many images. With the Boston bombers, we had one bad photo that was on a piece of paper from a very bad street cam. We've got multiple photos, details on the clothing, everything, shoes, backpack. Everyone has seen this. 150 million people have seen this. And for someone not to say, I recognize that strange hat or that guy that wears the Converse, which is a very rare shoe to wear by guys, I mean, come on. I can't believe it.
Well, then the other question is, how long did the FBI sit on that photo before they released it to the public?
Exactly. They should have released this first thing yesterday. And, I mean, I was talking earlier about Kash Patel. Does Kash Patel look like an incompetent boob or what?
Well, he did. But here's what I'm thinking about Kash Patel. There's nothing for him to say. I think he was there hoping to bring identification, and that didn't happen. So he would look silly because there's nothing for him to say.
No, he could have gone up. He could have gone up there and gave out the information on the reward or something. He looked terrified, like he didn't know what the freak was going on. Hey, listen, I got to run from Sanford. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back. All right, let's see here. Let me take another call or two here during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Art from Boca Raton.
Hey, what's up?
Well, listen, by now I would hope the president would know whether Patel and Bongino are working on many, many cases and they're going to be prosecuted. But if not, it's time that they get replaced by competent people. And the same thing with Bondi. They haven't prosecuted really anybody. They've talked about it. That's about it.
Well, we saw last night. I would consider seeing Kash Patel in action, and he looked terrified.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he walked right by the microphone and just kept walking. It beyond my understanding.
I've never seen somebody that's FBI director at an event like that not take the lead.
No, absolutely. The other thing is this: since the president came on board, they've been after him, of course, as we all know, in many ways, put him in jail, etc. And from day one, when I get one of these surveys for the Republican Party, if they ask the question, I answer it. I said the one most important thing that they could do is prosecute, because if they don't, these people will keep coming after them.
That's true.
And that's exactly what's
Well, you
happening.
can't depend on Kash Patel for anything. He's little more than a figurehead. I mean, that was obvious in the press conference. I was in shock.
I was too.
I mean, I thought when I heard he went out there, I assumed part of the reason he went out there was to show that he's competent.
Agree, if we don't
Don't you agree if we don't prosecute these people? There's enough evidence. What's his name? The FBI guy confessed in front of Congress he lied to them.
Yes.
There's enough evidence for a high school kid to prosecute.
Yes.
And I don't know what the hell they're waiting for.
Well, Pam
And
Bondi,
it's been way too long.
you're right. I appreciate the call. Pam Bondi has multiple grand juries going on. Okay, so they could have sealed indictments that we just don't know about yet. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. I know you don't like people calling back twice.
It's one call per day. There's about 70 people on hold. I can't do it. No. There's too many people on hold. Some have been on hold for, since the show began, pretty much. And I can't put somebody on that has been on before. If you're on hold, stand by. We are going to be back. This is a radio station break. We're going to be back in less than a minute. And I'm going to go back to the phones as soon as we get back. But listen, they're going to get this guy hopefully today, and I'm keep monitoring. If there's any breaking news on the manhunt while I'm on the air and you don't hear me bring it up, call me and let me know, or let me know in the let me know in the live chat. All right. If you're new to the program, welcome. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the chat. It's 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you are tuned in. All right, we'll be back. Hold on. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. And we've covered quite a bit on the program today. I'm going to go right back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rabbi David. How
hey,
are
Rabbi.
you?
Well, best I can be, Rabbi.
Yeah. I know. I've been speechless. I'm amazed that you're able to talk, and it's really thank you so much for comforting everybody. I tell you, I'm in New York. I was in a hotel room last night flipping the channels, and this other caller called in earlier sparked my attention because he was talking about President Trump and his wife at the 9/11 ceremony, and that's what this Jimmy Kimmel piece of garbage last night was making fun of.
What?
He showed a picture of the president and his wife and made fun of them as if because they were very stoic and not moving. And he said, "Oh, look at their relationship, ha ha ha." And then at one point, the president touched Melania's hand very gently, and she was just frozen, And he's like, "Oh, look at them, no feelings."
He's a monster.
They must have been, we know what was on both of their minds. Okay, they were holding back from just crying for this young man who was killed, and this is what Jimmy Kimmel decides to make fun of.
What a monster!
These people are just beyond.
They,
monsters.
See, the thing is, they don't, Rabbi. The left don't understand who Charlie Kirk was and what he was to all of us, including the president. They just don't get it. They think he is some lunatic, Nick Fuentes, neo-Nazi type that's on the fringes of society. Right. They don't get it. What that's not even live. I mean, that's a tape thing that they did. I mean, what a jerk.
Yeah. Let me tell you. When I think of Charlie Kirk and I watch all his videos and listen to him, he was really brilliant. He was so intelligent on any topic given to him. People always talk about his personality and his smile and his demeanor, but a lot of people have smiles and demeanors and are very nice. But he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he was a proof of you can be brilliant without going to college, self-taught, genius, absolute genius.
Yeah.
And to be missing this Einstein from our lives, really, speechless.
I know. I feel you. I mean, I'm where you are. I mean, it's tough, Rabbi.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm arriving at an airport, ready to go. But thank you very much. Ready to go back to Florida.
All right. We'll see you soon in Florida, Rabbi. Yesterday I told you that there are two famous conservative influencers who have been angling for Charlie Kirk's job at Turning Point, and I'm still not going to say who they are. But I think a lot of you know. One of them's been on every show, television and online. The other one is made a move yesterday with some fake story and then a response to it to announce that they're doing something. There's these two guys. I am so ticked at them. And what I told you yesterday, the reason I'm not saying their names is I don't know what stage of grief I'm in now. Yesterday, I don't know how I got through the show. And those of you out there, I want to thank you all who called in yesterday. You got me through yesterday's show. It was very difficult. I really had a hard time. I've never been so emotionally overwhelmed with the loss of someone that I wasn't related to. And you guys got me through it. And I'm still deep in grief here. And I haven't said their names because I don't want my grief to channel through and get anger and say something. But there's two guys in particular. One of them is so fake doing every freaking show. I think I haven't seen any tears. I am, and I almost kind of see a smirk on their face when I see them on television or on these shows online doing interviews. And there's two of them. And neither of them are going to be the replacement for Charlie Kirk at Turning Point, but they both think they are because they're narcissists who are not self-aware. And I think I'm not going to confirm or deny, but one of them's ticking me off more than the other because he's been on every show, television and online. And I saw a smirk on his face yesterday. And let me tell you, when somebody has a smirk on their face when they're talking, that's like one of my biggest pet peeves. And it goes to I don't like that smirk. And one of them had the smirk yesterday. And while they're on every show, acting as if they're grieving, but I haven't seen any tears at all. I'm not going to say their names. I think a lot of you know probably who I'm talking about. I am not going to confirm or deny, other than to tell you they're male and they're two so-called famous conservative influencers. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to contain myself much longer. I'm getting so ticked at both of them. One in particular is worse than the other. All right. Our number is 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning. I'm Brian. This is Vivi from Central Florida.
Yes, what's up?
And I just wanted to add to the conversation because we're all concentrating on the shooter. But a lot of people, I remember that the FBI was asking if anybody has any information, any videos or anything like that. So there was a video posted concentrating on the two men that were behind Charlie Kirk. And
you're talking about the signals? Is this the tape? Is this where they're talking about signals from his security team? This video?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I've seen that.
So, and you know how you get that sixth sense that something's going on? There was also a video about a young man that after he did the question, he felt like there was something odd, and there was a group of people that were like there was something planned. So that was also posted.
Well, you know, I saw the signal it looked like one of his bodyguards was doing something with the brim of his hat. I don't know if he was fixing his hat or was there somebody in the crowd who was being a jerk. You know, I don't think if it was the guy on the roof, they would have gotten Charlie out of there.
Well, when I saw that video, what I was questioning is why the cell phone, that he had the cell phone in the direction that he had it.
Oh, I don't know.
There's
a lot of questions here.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to add to the conversation.
Oh, well, you did. You added a lot. Yeah, I haven't brought that up yet. Yeah. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Brian. I agree with everything about the
you've got a very bad cell connection. So I'm gonna. You got to call back, okay? Your phone. We're getting like a half a syllable of every word. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Brian? Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I normally say good morning, but it's still not a good morning, man. Anyhow, Laura Ingram last night said that how soon can we get somebody to replace Charlie Kirk? No, man, we're not going to replace Charlie Kirk. You may get somebody to fill in for him, but he was totally unique, unbelievable, great guy.
He had a skill set that very few people have. Plus, as I talked about on the show the other day, he had this movie star charisma to him as well. And I give you an example. There's one of the clips I saw this morning of him at one of the colleges. Some guy was talking to him about, men or women, because they get this surgery, And he says, well, if that's true, if I go in blackface, why am I not a black man?
Exactly.
And these. Now, that's something I've learned how to do from this job, from Steve and all of that. There's none of these conservative influencers have that skill set. That they're movie stars in charisma, electric to the crowd, plus they have that ability to debate anyone. Like I do the open phones, unvetted. Nobody else does that, and nobody else did what Charlie Kirk did. I know Ben Shapiro and some of these guys, they do these debates. Those are fixed things going up against children that are low-level stuff. It's like, what Charlie Kirk was doing was very upper-level debate, quick. And there's no one that's got that out of that group.
He was definitely unique. He had a great talent, and he certainly had the answers instantly, like you said, man, like you. He was the top of the top. You'll get somebody to sit in for him, but never going to replace him.
No.
Anyway, I certainly think that.
Well, I'm out of time for the hour, Doug. But good points. Take care. Okay. All right. 2 hours down, 1 to go. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We're going to take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by, and be back with your calls right after this break. All right, this is our top of the hour break on the radio, but I'm going to still take some calls here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rob from Central Illinois.
Hey, Rob.
Ben from Pompano's call was just spot on, and love that guy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say something that I think, just like you and everybody else, I had a guest in. A guy coming in for his reunion on Wednesday, and we were supposed to go out to dinner, and I couldn't make it. I couldn't leave the house, and no way, man. I just crumpled, and I consider myself a pretty tough guy, a former football player, and I just cried like a baby for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think you ought to take over Charlie Kirk's deal. That's what I think.
Yeah, I might be too old for the Turning Point crowd, but I appreciate the compliments.
Yeah, but you're doing a great job. Keep the faith and keep your listeners going, and love your audience, except for a couple idiots. But
everybody's got those.
Yeah, well, you take care and hang in there, you and your wife and everybody.
All right. I will. Take care. All right. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. We're on a radio station break now. We're going to be back in less than a minute. Let me check the clock here. Yeah, we're going to be back in less than a minute. So I'm going to wait to take another call until we're back. If you want to call in, the number is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. And we have had just spectacular calls all day today. I know a couple of exceptions, a couple of degenerates, but you guys have added a lot to the conversation and brought up a lot of things that I hadn't considered so far yet today. So we got one more hour to go. Well, less than an hour. All right, stand by. We'll be back in just a few seconds. The number's pinned in the live chat. All right, here we go. All right, the third hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is not our normal open phone Friday. Usually Friday is Open MAGA Mike Friday. I'm calling it Open MAGA Mike Open Phone Light, meaning you're welcome to call in about any and everything related to the assassination of the late, great Charlie Kirk. I've covered a few things. I'm not going to do any recapping now. I'm just going to go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. Sorry. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name's Elijah. I'm calling from Kansas City.
All right.
I just wanted to say I was, I'm about to fall asleep. I just happened to be scrolling on YouTube Shorts and saw your live, and yeah, man, this death has hit me hard. Man, Charlie Kirk, he touched a nation of youthful kids to, stand up for what they believe in, be okay with speaking out. Man, and he's still touching the hearts of the kids and the youth. I'm seeing so many kids and youth on the left leaving the left because of such a negative response, cheering for his death and everything. And I'm also loving that the communities online are trying to find this killer, as well as the FBI. Everybody is wanting this person to be. They want justice to be served. Mm-hmm. And Charlie deserves justice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, welcome to the program. I'm glad you found me. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm here every day.
I did. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's good to hear. How old are you?
I'm 25.
See, 25.
Kind of young, but
the thing about I was talking about this yesterday. Charlie Kirk, the reason they killed him, and I'm of the school of thought that the same people that killed Charlie Kirk shot the president in Butler, killed President Kennedy and Martin Luther King. He is a civil rights leader, and he did what people thought was impossible, and that is turn the college-age crowd and high school-age crowd into Republicans, very conservative Republicans. Yes. And that's why they killed him. They killed Martin Luther King because he had organized the civil rights movement against the Democrats. They killed Gandhi, too, was shot dead. And for the same things that the same thing that he was doing for the Indians. And Charlie Kirk modeled, he never got to talk about this because he was assassinated too young. He didn't get to live to be an old man and talk about it. But I believe Charlie Kirk modeled Turning Point USA after Martin Luther King, who modeled his civil rights campaign after Gandhi. And it doesn't go lost on me that all three of them were shot to death and assassinated because of their good work. And I went on Amazon to buy Charlie Kirk's newest book. It was sold out. I'm going to get the Kindle and read it over the weekend. I'm going to read all of his books. And I'm heartbroken over it. And I'm I got to meet him once, and he did me a really big favor. And I didn't even know that he knew who I was. And but I've never been so emotionally overwhelmed for someone I wasn't related to when they passed before. I didn't realize how important he was to all of us. I really didn't.
Yeah, to me, it still doesn't feel real. Like it, I just keep, I keep seeing things that he's dead. I'm like, man, it's just hard to believe. Like I'm still in shock. I guess it's just.
Well, it's nice to hear someone young who's not celebrating on TikTok about it.
I'm gonna be real. There's a lot of young people, celebrating his death, but I'll tell you that as much as there's many that are celebrating, there's also many more that are so sick and hurt by this.
Yeah.
Both from the right and the left. Many of them are leaving the left because like they're seeing not just Kirk, but that what happened to that poor lady on the train or the bus or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like they see these things happening, the attempted assassination of Trump, and like it's a growing issue that I think is just gonna keep growing and growing and growing, to be a really big problem, if not addressed soon. I can't even imagine what's going to happen after Trump is out of office.
Hopefully J.D. Vance will be in office after that. That's the plan.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Amen.
All right, take care. Welcome to the program. Thanks for your call. All right, it's nice to hear from someone who's young that's got their head screwed on right, huh? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing? It's Brian, and I'm just watching President Trump on Fox and Friends, and according to him, they got him in custody.
Yeah, I just heard that, and I'm trying to get the details on that. If you've been watching online, I've been looking through my phone. I know, and I'm trying to see if there's any details on that. And that's great news.
Yeah, he's just on. Yeah, that's great news.
Mm-hmm. That's great news, and I hope we get all the ID and everything soon. And I am monitoring that. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, you hear that? The president announced that they got him in custody. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Carol from Michigan.
Yes, Carol.
I want you to know that I love your platform, and I love you and Kathy and Emily as a family. And I don't know if you heard the other day, it was maybe within an hour of after the incident with Mr. Kirk.
All right, so let me give you the update. This is great. President Trump has just announced that they have the assassin in custody. President announced that I tell you, some of these the New York Post, they have so many damn pop-up ads on their website and app, you can't even read the news. President Trump has announced that they have the suspect in custody. That is spectacular. I would read you the story, but I'm going to pull it up online somewhere else because the New York Post wants me to watch a 4-minute ad before I can read the story. Okay, here we go. The president, we have him. Trump says suspect in custody for Charlie Kirk assassination. I think we have a high degree of certainty we have him, Trump said on Fox. Somebody who was very close to him turned him in. That's great news. That's great news. And hopefully we'll get the ID soon. So we got him, according to the president.
Well, praise God.
Yes.
And my first words to my son was, Charlie Kirk has just been murdered. And but the other incident was that there was a plane that took off under the radar.
I don't think that. I think that's been debunked. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Those of you out in the audience, you'll be my staff of producers, okay? Because I'm a one-man band here. But if you get any updates on the identity of President Trump has announced they have him in custody. If any of you get any updates, feel free to call me and let me know, or DM me, or let me know in my live chat or something. Let's get to it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Sean from Massachusetts.
Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean. What's up?
I was looking at some footage last night. And TMZ. I don't know how they even obtained this. And they've shown the whole thing about him limping in about 3 minutes away from the area where he was coming in from that footage of the security camera, and then him coming out. He was moving pretty fast. Like he went behind a shed and then he made his way around some houses, the same area. And there was some analysis now. I don't know if this is true. That's saying that the reason why he was limping is because he had the weapon on him.
That's correct.
So he had to walk like that.
That's what's been said, yes.
What's that?
No, that is correct.
Okay, sort of. Okay. And I just, I have faith that they'll get him. being from here, Massachusetts, and living, I remember the Boston Marathon, and that same situation is very, very, very possible. I think he might be definitely hiding in under someone's boat.
Well, no,
behind some shed.
the president just announced that they have the assassin in custody. He says we have him. The president said they have him in custody. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, this is glorious, and because I'm glad because they seem to be running now. Kash Patel did look pretty clueless. I'm pretty disappointed in how he's been acting, as many are. So we'll see how that all plays out with him going forward. And Dan Bongino, the same thing. But I give credit to the Utah branch to what they've been doing, because they were doing a lot of work, and I like the way that guy was speaking too. I thought
there's going to be right after the 9 o'clock hour. There's going to be a press conference, so we're going to get the updates. But the president just said we got him. He says we have him. So that's good news. Good. So that's about an hour from now. We'll get that press conference. Oh yeah. Thank the Lord above. Excellent. And I hope when that happens, we get a lot of details on who he was and everything else.
And who else might have been involved too. I mean,
absolutely.
We have to get everything.
Absolutely.
And I think we will get that. Mm-hmm. And with Donald Trump at the helm, we know what's going to happen.
That's right. All right, take care. Take care. All right, we're going to take our first break of the third hour. If you're just tuning in, the president has announced that they have the assassin in custody. And right after the 9 o'clock hour, there's going to be an FBI press conference going over all of it. If you're on hold, stand by. And if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. All right. We'll be back shortly, guys. I mean, that is great news. And if any of you have any more information, because I'm monitoring, there's nothing new yet other than right after the top of the hour at 9, there will be a press conference that we're going to get everything. I am monitoring online, of course. But if we get any more information, I will bring it to you. We're still in break. So I'm just looking through everything now. By the way, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. The calls have been spectacular. Let's see. Yeah. And Kash Patel will be at that press conference. So hopefully it'll go better than what we have seen. Yeah. So we do have them. I think I'm going to play the audio. Here's the president.
Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. Father went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but sure. I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They
got him. I mean, this is great.
Father went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And I brought him to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So, father.
That's great news. That's great news. Oh, man. And the press conference is going to be right after 9 o'clock. So this is all great stuff. I can't wait. I hope when they have this press conference, I hope they tell us what he's been doing the last 2 days, right? If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys, okay? We'll be back in about 20 seconds. Yep, they got him. They got him. Stand by. All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. The president has announced that they have the suspect in custody. There's going to be an FBI press conference after the 9 o'clock top of the hour. I guess they timed it to not interrupt the program. Thank you. Here's the president just a few minutes ago making the announcement.
Father went to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And I brought him to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So, father.
There you go. I mean, this is all exciting. We got him. Good news. I'm glad this. Do you guys feel the weight lifted? Absolutely. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jim from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Jim.
I just can't tell you that I was just watching President Trump.
I know, we got him. I just played it. I know. He announced we got him. I appreciate it. Take care. All right. Yeah, this is a longer version of the president's announcement.
Clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, and where they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change, but the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Oh, my goodness. Is the president saying he turned himself in? Let me rewind that. Did the guy turn himself in with his dad?
So I understand it. And again, subject to change. But, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
So, Mr. President.
Wow. That's just astounding. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. It's Frank from Titusville, Florida.
Hey.
Great
news.
Hey,
Great news. It sounds like he surrendered himself. Well, that doesn't. I don't care if he surrendered himself. It's still death penalty.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask him. Sorry if you mentioned this while I was on hold and I didn't hear it, because I was going to ask, I know you've said in the past that you're against the death penalty, so you don't feel that way as far as this individual is concerned?
No, I'm too angry. I'm just too, that's,
Okay.
No. That's, they ask you that, a lot of times. I'm very pro-life, and I've always been opposed to the death penalty. And then they always say, well, if it was a family member, would you be opposed? And, of course, the answer is no. And I feel that connection to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fair, because what I was going to ask, or what I wanted to bring up was, I don't know if it's going to be state or federal charges, but I just wanted to say that I found out just in the last 24 hours that Utah does have death by firing squad, and I am all for that in this case.
I did see that. And they have done that.
Guilty verdict, of course.
And they have done that in recent years. That's not something that hasn't been done for 100 years. They've done that in recent years.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I believe in due process, innocent until proven guilty. But if he is found guilty, I am all for death by firing squad.
My recollection with that is, and I could be wrong, but and I don't even know if this was Utah, but there was a guy who got the death penalty, and they actually allowed the convict to choose the method, and they gave them a couple and they chose the firing squad. So I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's a choice that you're given in Utah, or if the judge can say this is the way it's going to be. I don't know.
Yeah, and if he gets death by firing squad, shoot him right in the neck.
Okay, all right. We don't need to get more graphic. But this is the president's announcement.
Clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there, and then it was a father got it.
Okay, so it sounds like the minister recognized the guy, called his federal marshal friend, and then they called the father of the assassin. What it sounds like.
Clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there, and then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in, and they, so I understand it, and again, subject to change, but, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for, but they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
Wow, this is great. And the press conference is going to be after the 9 o'clock hour, all right? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice.
Yeah, hi, Brian. Larry.
Hey, Larry, you just made it.
Yeah, sorry, couldn't quite hear you. So that case of the man that selected his own death by firing squad was Gary Gilmore in Indiana back in 1979. I was in high school, and they put out applications for people that wanted to be on the firing squad.
I remember that part of the story. Yeah, I've heard this. What state was this?
Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah, this sounds very familiar. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got a friend at school applied, and the deal is that I'd say they have 12 people shooting guns, but not all of them have a live round.
That's right. So you don't know.
So that they can't go. They can't go back and charge somebody with his murder.
Or I always thought they did that so that no one knew if they were responsible for the death, to take a burden off. But when you fire a round that's not live, everybody knows which one's the right one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad they caught him, and I'm so disgusted that that's even had to happen. Great show, Brian.
Well, thank you so much. I want to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, you can lose 10 to 20% of your body fat just in 60 days. In the first 3 weeks, I lost about 20 pounds. And remember, 0 exercise. Eating foods I would normally eat. I didn't starve myself. I didn't go hungry. No shots. I can't believe people get injections to lose weight. That's crazy town to me. And no prescription medications either. And and you guys have seen my miraculous weight loss. If those of you that watch me on YouTube, you can go back and look at what I look like in January, beginning of January, and then look now, right? I mean, I have just lost so much weight. I got my face back. I weigh what I weighed 29 years ago. My stomach is flat. I've lost inches off my weight. It's absolutely amazing, and I feel great. I've cut my coffee intake down by 50%, and frankly, a little bit more than 50%. It seems I'm not drinking because I have more energy, and my results are typical. You can do the same. Coastal Weight Loss Secret can help you no matter where you're located in the United States. You know, we have listeners from all over America who have called and they're losing weight. Here's the number, 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlosssecret.com. That's coastalweightlosssecret.com. We'll be right back. Oh, this is great news, guys.
Clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change. But, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
Wow, this is so freaking-tacular. I am so excited this happened. Let me see. I got another account here. We're going to be back shortly. Let me see here. I'm going to play this one when we get back. We'll see if we get more information, because some of these reporters may actually have a source, if you can imagine. All right, we'll be back on the air in 1 minute. All right, we'll be back in about 15 seconds, guys. I was just looking over the latest. Stand by. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, please do. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. The president has announced the Charlie Kirk assassin is in custody, and the way he described it is if there was that he surrendered himself. This is ABC News. I want to see if they've got this just dropped with ABC News. Let's see. There's going to be a press conference right after the top of the hour. So in the 9 o'clock hour, there's going to be an FBI press conference announcing everything. But let's see if ABC News has a little bit more information. And if any of you have heard any specifics about the assassin, other than that he's been captured, call me. Let me know what you've picked up.
We will pause for a moment so the rest of the country can join us.
Okay, this is like
I'm
ABC
Rebecca Jarvis.
breaking news.
We have that breaking news. Just moments ago, President Trump just said on a different network on Fox News that a suspect is in custody in the killing of prominent conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He told the anchors there, I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. We have him in custody. Everyone did a great job. I want to bring in Aaron Katursky, our chief investigative correspondent, with more. And this has been a manhunt underway now for 24 hours. And here we are, Aaron.
And it comes after, Rebecca, the FBI released a number of surveillance images, hoping the public could come through with an identification of the suspect. And now President Trump says that it appears he is in custody. The president told Fox News that it was somebody close to the suspect who convinced the suspect to turn himself into the authorities. We're waiting for more details. We're also waiting for a specific identification. But the FBI had been imploring the public and offering $100,000 in reward money for information leading to this individual's arrest. They released video that showed the suspect jumping from a rooftop, scampering into the woods to make his escape. And now, Rebecca, President Trump tells Fox News that the suspected shooter of Charlie Kirk is in custody. Rebecca?
Awesome.
All right, some stunning new developments here, Aaron. Thank you. And we want to turn now to Pierre Thomas, who's joining us from Washington. Pierre, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Rebecca,
When we want to turn now to Pierre Thomas, who's joining us from Washington. Pierre, what can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Rebecca, I've just spoke to a source who is confirming that a person of interest is in custody. We're expecting a press conference.
I think this ABC News reporter's source is our source, is watching President Trump on Fox. That's what they call a source now.
Within the next hour or so, ABC News is aware of a name that law enforcement was focusing on overnight. We're not releasing that name until we get additional confirmation. But I can report a source telling me that a person of interest is in custody.
All right, Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas, thank you for that. And we also heard overnight, we saw this video, this incredible video. You saw it here if you were watching Good Morning America from Matt Gutman.
Okay, so that they are just, they're calling sources the president. So let's go back to the guy. So we got a second, a little bit of analysis there from ABC News that the assassin surrendered himself. So...
clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way, and his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there, and then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And they, so I understand it. And again, subject to change. But, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Wow. And, you know, this is now, of course, we're all waiting for all the details. But one of the big things that we're all waiting for in regards to if you're on hold, hang in there. And if you would like to call in, you can. The number is 888-465-2631. The reason I haven't been taking calls is because I know that they got him, so I'm kind of waiting to filter through. A lot of people want to call and tell me we know. We've been talking about it for about half an hour, so we know that. But the online sleuths at 4chan yesterday thought that they had identified who it was. And this is going to be a big moment because when the name is known for sure, if it's the people that the internet sleuths at 4chan had identified, it's not just I don't want to say it's like a victory for the internet, like it's a competition. I'm curious to see how how law enforcement took that information did they just ignore it, or did they take that as a major lead of people identifying the suspect? Very curious to find that out. And if it is that, I have seen the video and I see the resemblance, although it's hard to tell. But we'll find out if it was that person. And if it's the person that the 4chan people were saying, that was someone that had gone back and forth at an event with Charlie at one of the colleges. But we'll find out in about 30 minutes or so is when the press conference is going to be. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Don from Pompano.
Yeah.
I just want to remind your listeners that it wasn't several weeks ago that you were bad-mouthing Turning Point and Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and also...
Now slow down. Now slow down. I want to talk about this.
Okay, I'm slow down.
No, excuse me. No, hold on. Slow down a second. And let's. Are you going to talk to me, or you just want to bark things at me? Because I'm open to talk. People know who I am. Okay.
They do. You are the Panikin, the anti-MAGA
well,
person.
if I'm the Panikin, why are you the one who won't stop talking and let me respond?
Because I know you're going to try to cut me off, put me on hold.
I know. I'm not. I'm keeping you on.
Okay.
Which I don't have to do. Okay. I took issue with what happened at that Turning Point in Tampa over the Epstein stuff. Yeah. And I talked about it on a couple of shows. So what? Because you can't disagree with someone 1/2 of 1% of the time?
You disagree and you throw people under the bus that are actually true MAGA.
Really?
You
true
forget
MAGA?
that Cass Patel is working on 100 cases, and all you do is badmouth him and Dan Bongino and the rest.
Yeah.
You are the anti-MAGA,
Well,
and you're
you
a
can
phony.
you can tell yourself that all you want.
No, and we know it.
No, who's we? Oh, you speak for a group?
Anybody that listens.
Anybody that listens. He speaks for all of you in the listening audience. Are you kidding me? In fact, if you want to talk about what happened at Turning Point, if you remember, Charlie Kirk retracted what he said at Turning Point and apologized on his show. If you remember that, on his podcast for that. But this is what I'm talking about here. There are, when you're a public person like Charlie Kirk, and obviously was on a higher level than me, but when you're a public person, do you see what you have to deal with? You see what you have to deal with people out there in the public, and we all accept this as well. That's the price of the price of fame, and it is. But what I've learned from doing this is, when you're dealing with someone like that or this assassin that took Charlie Kirk, this is something I learned quite some time ago. And it's when I had an incident with someone in the audience who was threatening, a very threatening person, and I had to go to the police about. And they got angry and said to me, "You want to be out there? This is what you effing deserve. You effing get what you're out there. This is what you." And I realized, and they were, what I realized with the weirdos in the audience, like that guy, this assassin, this person I just told you about, when you're a public person, these weirdo people, they don't realize that you're a real human. I know that sounds crazy to people, but they don't think you are a person. They think that you're like an inanimate object. And because you're not a person and you're an inanimate object, they feel totally justified in doing and saying whatever they want to do or say. And this is just, when I've had problems with people over the years and threats and things like that, it took me a long time it doesn't make it better, okay? But that's the way it is. So if you're just tuning in, they have the assassin in custody. He turned himself in through a process, and after the top of the hour, there's going to be a press conference at the FBI is supposedly going to lead. Hopefully Kash Patel will step up, and we'll find out all about it. But I do want to tell you first about the Sloman's Shield Link. This is a new thing with Sloman's, and it's super cool. Listen to this. It's an all-in-one ecosystem that integrates all your devices at home with your Sloman Shield. So what happens is it takes all the regular things you do around the house and connects them together based on your preferences. Let me give you an example. You come home at night, your lights come on when you need them to come on. Your favorite music, your TV, your favorite radio show or podcast comes on as soon as you walk in the house. ShieldLink can act on almost any scenario and create scenes based on what you want to happen. It can turn your thermostats up or down when you leave, when you come home, automatically lock your doors, make sure your lighting for security outside your house comes on when you need it to come on. And the Sloman ShieldLink is compatible with all the devices you already have. Give them a call, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050, 833-283-5050. We'll be right back with the Gold Report. Yeah, hold on. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back, everyone. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with our final gold and precious metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how are the metals ending up the week?
Metals are going to end up, looks like, much higher. The market yesterday pulling back on gold, but all the rest of the markets were pretty much up. Gold trading in a range of $3,614 to $3,648 yesterday, and closing out the day just down $6 at $3,633.20 the ounce. Silver, the big gainer and pushing really fast ahead now, doing some catch up with gold. Silver was up 41 cents yesterday at $41.47 the ounce, higher even more this morning. Platinum lost $12 yesterday at $13.79, and palladium was up $13 at $11.89. This morning we've seen gold trade in a range of $36.30 all the way up to $36.58, and right now we're at $3,640 the ounce. That's up $6.80. Silver up 43 cents at $41.90 the ounce, and we even got up as high as $42.31 the ounce so far this morning. So silver is moving very quickly higher. Platinum up $11 at $1,390, and palladium up $31 at $1,220 the ounce. So all of the metals up nicely this morning.
Absolutely.
And silver really taking off. Platinum and palladium starting to play catch up also to gold.
What would when it comes to silver, what are some of the best buys today with silver at these great numbers?
100-ounce bars are still a great value, and of course 90% silver bags we have at just the silver value, spot value for no premium on 90% silver.
Really?
Coins. And so we have great values on all of the silver products and in stock for immediate delivery, and that won't last long. We're starting to see a lot of retail buying coming into the marketplace, and a lot of products are literally disappearing from the shelves of many of the suppliers. Many of the wholesalers are totally out of things like gold eagles and a lot of other things. So products are starting to disappear, and supply chains are going to have to start pumping up the minting processes on these products, and that means we're going to see much higher premiums on these coins that we've been telling you have had such low premiums. I truly believe that you're going to see much higher premiums on these products going forward.
Well, but at William Youngerman's, everything is in stock, and you know, when the supply back during the lockdown period is when we saw some of the premiums get high because supplies got short during the shutdowns. You know, so we've seen that in the past.
That's right.
Yeah, so you want to go in and buy, and I got to tell, everything's priced good, but when I hear silver at spot price, which is the 90% silver, guys, that's like the best sale you can get on the metals. William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. You can stop in. His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road on the first floor of the Bank of America building. And you can also call and do all your transactions over the phone, no matter where you're located in the world. 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. You'll find both his address and phone number. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a nice weekend. Thank you.
All right, so if you're just tuning in, the president announced almost an hour ago, a little less than an hour ago, that they got the assassin. He has surrendered himself, which is insane. And I was just looking on X, and then I got a text from Mike the Board Op who saw the same thing. Now this is unconfirmed, but I just saw on X that the assassin is not the 4chan guy. That it's someone else. But you know, if he surrendered himself and his dad was involved and they drove there, that sounds like something local. And I got to tell you, you know, we'll get all the details about this person quick because, you know, after the top of the hour, sometime in the next hour, the FBI is going to have a press conference. And when they give out the identity of this person, we're gonna get everything about them. Right now, they're probably scrubbing their social. But the stuff's going to start to come out. And, you know, the media for the last day or so have been trying to put this moral equivalency that, you know, the right does just as much as the left when it comes to violence. Nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, the complete opposite is true, all right? They, all of the violence that's going on is from the left. We've got the Trump assassin from the golf course on trial right now as we speak, right here in Florida in Fort Pierce. And he's representing himself, which, you know, the guy's completely nuts. We've got this assassin. And I'm hoping this is one that goes through the system quick. I mean, if he turned himself in, that's an astounding story. I'm in shock that he turned himself in. That is absolutely amazing. And I don't know if we've ever had something quite like that happen at this level. And I do have a name, but I don't have the name confirmed. I've seen it. I'm looking at it on something, so I'm not going to share the name because we're going to have it soon enough anyway. All right, let's take a couple more of the calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Lynn from Boynton.
Hey, Lynn.
Hey, so, you know, we're listening to you and watching President Trump talk on Fox News, and one of the things he's bringing up is the fact that when we see live that there's no question who killed the girl on the train, no question now who killed Charlie Kirk, the CEO, is that the trials take too long. And what happens is they have to make it so when you know for sure, there is no doubt, the trial should be now. Do it, get rid of him. We don't want to take care of you for 50 years until there's another trial. And he's so right, because it happens in the CEO that got shot. You know, all these people are being made out to be heroes, killing these people. And it's disgusting.
You're talking,
it's just disgusting.
You're talking about the insurance company's CEO. And if you remember, the one Boston bomber that survived, they put him on the cover of Rolling Stone, remember?
Yes, I do remember that. It's so ridiculous. And, it's almost like when video games got really violent. People thought that if you shot somebody in real life, they'd get back up again. You know what I mean? Well, that's not true. And when the good people are the ones that are getting killed, it's amazing.
Well, I've talked about this. I've noticed this in the last year or two, and I've talked about this a lot with the callers. I've been talking to liberal callers for years and years, but in the last year, the liberal callers have gotten, it's brutal. You hear they're scary. Some of them are. Some of these guys that call me, it's chilling. They're psychotic and they're evil, and the violence and the language.
Oh, I know it. I know. And how they, when they talk to you, they're just very disrespectful. And I don't care, if your mother spanked you when you were 4. I don't care. That has nothing to do with the mental illness or anything. It's all excuses and lies, and it's just so bad people can overtake.
It's about a few things. One of it is what you were talking about. With video games and social media, they don't have human interaction. Remember I was talking when a lot of people that... Almost in every instance where I've had people that were threatening to me, and I've had a lot of this over the years, okay? And sometimes it's gotten serious. They don't think you're real. They don't think, when somebody's like a celebrity, like Charlie Kirk, they don't think you're a real human. It's a hard thing to understand, but they dehuman. And with all the electronics and social media, people that are under 35, maybe even 40, but under 35, don't have human interactions like you or I did growing up, and people are not human to them, and in so many ways. Plus, the left have been jazzing up in this hate group of people against conservatives like nobody's business.
Yeah, well, it's also that, you don't even know, like if you're walking down the street, God, you don't want to be wearing a purple shirt the day the guy who hates purple is walking by you. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to think, am I going to get hurt when I leave my home?
That's
Am
true.
I going to go to the supermarket and have some lunatic,
That's right.
There's no soy milk. I'm going to kill you all.
That's right.
And it's for no reasons. It's no for good. It's never good to kill somebody, but there's no reasons. It's nuts.
It is. All right. Appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. I might take another call or two. But listen, we're going to, by the end of today, I'm guessing we're going to have all the information, and I'm going to, I know a lot of you follow me online and on YouTube. If you don't, because I'm going to be live covering this all weekend long on my YouTube channel and on my podcast, guys. So make sure that you follow me there and keep in touch with me through the weekend, because I'm going to be covering all this as it breaks all weekend long on my YouTube channel. Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. So this is the president making the announcement.
Clarification, so a pastor was able to turn him in, and where they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there, and then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in, and they so I understand it, and again, subject to change, but the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for, but they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
Yeah, and this is, if you remember the Unabomber, his brother turned him in. And then it turned out he didn't look anything like the sketch, right? Kaczynski. So the way this came down, I mean, this is the best scenario, because obviously, I think most people, including myself, we assumed either they were totally gone out of the country and gone. They were holed up somewhere and would end up taking their own life. or there'd be some violent shootout that could be unpredictable. So none of those things happened, and we're going to have the guy, and thankfully he didn't get to take the coward's way out. And this is an important thing. And I do they televise trials in Utah? Federal trials are not televised. And if they televise trials in Utah, which I don't know if they do, they should not accept a plea deal. They should take this to trial. They're going to want to make a deal because he turned himself in. No plea deal. Take it to trial and televise it and let people see all of this live on television. Okay? The whole process with the witnesses and all the evidence. And doing that would help send a message to not do this again, and also let us know who was responsible for riling this person up. So the press conference is going to be in about 20 or 30 minutes. Hopefully they'll just start giving us everything then. I really hope that they do. Now I want to tell you guys that Mike Lindell, the great Mike Lindell, who was given his phone back by the FBI a couple weeks ago, incredible deals going on right now. Go to mypillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, for huge savings. Right now, the premium MyPillow is just $24.98. It's normally $69.98, so it's a huge discount. And the free shipping order is still in effect. Also, the 6-piece MyPillow towel set I've been talking about the last few days because they've been out of stock. They're so popular. They are back. The 6-piece MyPillow towel set, $30 off with our promo code Kane. Just $39.98. Normal price is $69.98. You can use our promo code Kane on all the specials site-wide. In fact, if you go to the outlet clearance section, you can save as much as 80% on some of the most popular MyPillow items with our promo code Kane. And the free shipping offer is still in effect. So go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, for huge savings, and the free shipping offers there too. All right, guys, it's been a rough week, hasn't it? Oh boy, but you all in the audience have gotten me through it, and I do appreciate that. Again, I'm going to be online all weekend long covering all of the developments with this. I'm so happy that they got the assassin. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. It's been a great news to end the show with. Take care. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. God bless. Charlie Kirk. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. The rest of you guys on hold, I'll be back later in the day when we have all the information, and we'll podcast this afternoon with all the updates. So if you're new, welcome to my channel. Make sure that you subscribe and click the notification bell, guys. All right? I'll see you later. My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk.